Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Misty.
Misty.
Look at that.
It's Misty. You've got the things on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday at the large-scale World Championships, sanctioned by IFMAR. As we look over to Mount Fuji. Oh, no, it's not.
It's Mount Misty.
Mount Misty. I had a cat called Misty.
You've seen Play Misty for Me?
It's
Clint Eastwood
very
film?
very worrying about all sorts of things. He married, didn't he? He married.
Did he?
Yes, and that went well.
Did it not?
No.
Oh.
And she died recently, unfortunately.
Oh, that's sad.
She's about 72.
She was a bit of a psycho in the film, wasn't she?
Yeah, I don't think she. I think that she was also in Any Which Way But Loose, wasn't she?
Was she?
Sandra something.
Is that the one with the monkey?
Yes.
Is
the
it?
orangutan, yes. And Any Which Way You Can, the sequel. Though obviously,
is the monkey still alive?
I doubt it, but I will check. No, I won't check, obviously.
Top priority for the day.
Hello, we are the Racing TV. My name's Nick Damon. To my left is Matt McCallum.
Yo.
And up on the rostrum is Ash Leontine, who has a number of talents, notwithstanding,
Including?
Yes, special talents.
Yes.
Are we going to leave him alone today?
For now.
For now. So Ash Leontine's up on the camera. Welcome one and all. Thank you to our sponsors, Samba Exhausts and Body Shells and everything else, and Model Cargo and A Main Hobbies. They allow us to be here.
You can move the camera now, Ash.
Thank you very much, the Associación Modelismo de Vida Real, the club, as we like to call them. Oh, pole position RC has started by being, that's Frank, has started off with his first comment of the day is, orangutans are primates, not monkeys.
Oh, here we go. Everyone's a monkeyologist, aren't they? Everyone.
World Figure 8 Racing is overcast, there's more horsepower and no overheating of tyres. Possibly. To Ray Brown, and then Carlos Ferraro. So we've got a busy day busy morning and early afternoon of finals. 8 races for you. The first 2 have 6 cars in them, and 3 cars bump up on these 20-minute finals, and then after that we will have full grids of 10 for the 32nd, 16th and 8th. We're going as far as the 8th today. So who is in this heat, I hear you ask?
Who's in this heat?
That's only taken 13 years to get right. Worryingly,
I was feeling generous, let's be honest.
What's happened quite unfortunately there is I've actually managed to close down my... oh, no, it's there. We have Carlos Sampaio in car 1 from Portugal. Dario Lovrincek from Croatia in car 2. Paul Hards from Britain in car 3. Armando de Oliveira from Venezuela in car 4. Oh. Delay there for the applause. Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa from Portugal in car 5. And Satoru Jinbo from Japan in car 6. Those are your runners and riders.
May the best man win. Or person or woman. Thank you to Samba and A Main Hobbies for sponsoring our coverage and helping make it possible. This is the IFMAR large-scale touring car worlds coming to you from Villarreal in Portugal. It's a bit misty, but it's going to get sunny, and the racing action on track is going to get hot and steamy.
We hope so.
Well, we do, yeah.
We do hope it's hot and steamy.
Possibly quite crashy for now, but we'll see.
And they're going to drive around now to the actual grid.
Bit of a procession.
Yes. They're not racing yet.
No. This would be... This would be if we were racing, it would look like this.
I can tell you why they're not racing, because none has fallen off the track yet.
Well, that one, car 1 just did. They touched the grass.
And as you said, there'll be a man who'll be finicking them in the grids.
Everyone needs a job, don't they?
Everyone's got a job.
Are they?
Car 2 needs to move forward a little bit. Car 2's not in his spot. So Dario Lovrincek is giving a time away. So top 3 bump up of the 6 cars. How many will finish is the question.
I'm going to go with 4.
Okay.
That's quite optimistic.
Car 3 jumped the start, but we're going to probably ignore that probably. And immediately loses position. And it's gone badly wrong on the first corner. Our poleman is last. And they scream round. So it's Lovrincek's leading. And then in second and third, it's he's a bit too far out for this morning. Is that the 4 car? Bit of second.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so it's 4 car of Armando de Oliveira from the 3 car. There's a lot of orange and blue around there, isn't there? The orange and blue car leads the orange and blue car. Paul Hards, I think, is car 3. So it's a...
Car 2's in the lead then.
Yes, it's Lovrincic from Croatia leads. We're with
2
the
from
second
4
place
from
man.
3 from 5.
And he's coming round in front of the rostrum. The split from front to rear was a grand total of 6 seconds. There you are.
Good time.
And up the inside goes Haas, looking to overtake the 4 car. So we've got a battle here for second place. They come round in front of us, where the common position is. We're somewhat divorced from Ash's camera position, which is the far end of the rostrum. We are right opposite the timing line. Come through into in and out. Both these guys currently bumping up. So far, everyone... Oh, up the inside goes Paul. So Hards takes second place from D'Oliveira and immediately pulls away. Now, they're being caught up by the pole man. So the pole man, Carlos Sampaio, fell off on the first corner. He's beginning to catch him up. And now there's a battle for the bump up place. And way off the track you go. Whoa! Just about got back in again. That was quite an accurate piece of event. So the first RS5 replay, they were talking, oh, disappointingly isn't Ash. It was a great replay with our test replay, which we have occasionally seen the test replay turn up, haven't we? Which would have made us all laugh a lot more than that particular piece of car action.
Yeah, but he came out of that really well, didn't he? He got really lucky.
Oh, and he's not lucky now, and that's gone. So rolling off. Now the problem is, at this point, car number 4 of Armando Oliveira now has to be marshalled, but he's not marshalled by a man by the track. He's marshalled by his running marshal to come all the way from the pit lane, and he loses a huge amount of time. So he's just crossing the line now. And he is now a long way last, 22 seconds off the lead. Now, Dario Lovrincic is checking out. Oh, that's not on. So we have an accident. See what's going on there. Get the impression the replay button could get worn out soon. That's just not very good driving by car 1. There wasn't a gap there in a million years. So Sampaio, now he's upside. This is almost there. I thought car 4's marshal was going rather generous there and marshal car 1. So, this is the 3 car of Hards in second, I think. Yeah. Sampaio actually went over the line in second the previous lap. Got away with it. He's now in third. 4th and 5th are quite close together. Now we've got a recovery drive from car 4 of Armando. So, Hards continues in second place. Lovrincic completes another lap, so he's got a bit of oversteer there, just controlled it. Hards comes in, and the leader is 7 seconds to the good. Hards is, how far ahead is he? He is 6 seconds ahead of the next position. And then in 4th, it's Oscar Jesus Pereira, who is 6 seconds behind Carlos Sampaio. And then you've got Satoru Jinbo, who is 3 seconds behind, and now Armando Oliveira from Venezuela, bringing up the rear, is somehow missing, even though he actually went past the track. So that's interesting. I think that car's not counting. I'm not sure. Or has he gone? Have we lost someone?
We did. We did lose someone.
Yeah, we've lost Armando Oliveira. He appears to have... Oh, no, he's been picked up.
He was being restarted. We just drove past him being restarted by his marshal mechanic.
He is now a lap down. Excellent observation of a man who can look at the track and not at the screen. This is why you're here. I knew there was a reason, some sort of reason.
For getting coffee.
Well, Ash got that. So 3 and 4 now came back together again. So that's... so that's 4's a lap down, isn't it? So 3 and then he's got a lap on 4. But we're not even a quarter of the way through yet, so anything could happen. As I'm suspecting, reliability may play a key later on. Leader coming up to lap 5th place. Drop back to the 1 car. We've had a lot of Hards on camera. This is the man who started on pole and was on pole all the way to the first corner when he fell off the track. Carlos Sampaio from Portugal. Lap times. Best lap we've seen is a 27.3. Just to give you an idea, the top drivers yesterday were doing lap times that are in the low 23s. Oh dear. Satoru Jinbo being dropped off this part at the moment. He's looking like he's ended up being lapped by a couple of cars. And D'Oliveira's car that's lapped down. That appears to be having braking issues. So 1 and 3 together. So we've got second and third back together again now. Hards with the blue tail. The pure orange car is the one machine of Sampao, and he's looking at left, he's looking right. Is there going to be a... No, I thought it was going to be a kind of dangerous move there. Hards just needs to stay on line, and Sampao has to do the work to get past him. And they're coming up to, I think, lap Jinbo, yep. And then Jinbo lets him through, the McGregor livery car. And this battle for second and third continues. Lovren Czech has a lead now, still a lead of 7 seconds. So he hasn't pulled out much in the last couple of laps, but coming up the inside, tries the one, but no. Sampao now has a bit of an inside look at Hards there as well. So Sampao's doing it the right way. He's not trying to just bludgeon his way past Paul. Obviously, relatively evident that Sampao has a bit more pace in the car than Hards does, but needs to get past him cleanly. I think some of the urgency is taken out by the fact that both of them are bumping at the moment, and therefore damaging your car is a far worse crime than just sitting behind. Moving left and right, the one car. The all-orange machine. So the Portuguese driver trying to catch up the Brit. Hard takes a bit of curb there, so it goes wide, but looks like now they're in final mode. They're very much driving a little bit slower, but doing what you know. Oh, and say, you don't want to get off line. That's what happens. If you stick on the line, you're all right. Anyone who's been with us the last 2 or 3 days will know that there's one line on this track, and that's the dark grey line, or dark black line, which has got tyre rubber in the track. Otherwise, you are going to be falling off, or at least having either weird understeer or weird oversteer as the grip disappears on the grey part of the track. Matt, you want to say something? No, you just waved at me, okay. I wasn't sure what you were doing. Our telepathy has failed.
I was probably just stretching, to be honest.
Well, you know, I've got chair issues.
We have been for a run this morning.
We have done 5k.
5 of your kilometres.
We did. We went out very early. We ran, and also I think it counts as more because most of it was on cobbles, which is right hard to run on.
We don't like cobbles.
No.
It's about as bad as running on sand, which is really bad.
Yeah, because that takes a huge amount out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every footstep is 2 foot. So now, slight problems there for the one car, Sampao. But Paul Hards has had a bigger problem. Hards has disappeared this lap. Where's Hards gone? We've lost Hards. Whilst we're discussing our run, Paul Hards must have made a pit stop of some sort. He's back out again. They don't need to refuel in this race. So Hards has gone. Oh, he's got a body tuck. He's had an accident. Hards drops down to third, but he's a very long way behind after a 49-second lap. So it's Lovrencek leading by 11 seconds from Carlos Sampao. Sampao is a good 12 to about 20 seconds ahead of Paul Hards. Hards is ahead of Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa. So despite the accident that Hards has, he's still it's got a slightly crumpled rear end. So he's also fallen off. Now you need to be careful because he's in third, which is the last to bump up. Jinbo's having a time on his own. He's just best time's down to 26.3 now. So they pulled a second off it. They've got used to the track. And the track is cleaning up all the time. Obviously not used since Superpole yesterday. A bit of dust and sand and stuff falls on it. So let's find our leader, Lovrencek. He's in the number 2 car. He's not had any love at all because he's been too far ahead. Where is he? Where is the cheeky monkey? Where's he gone? There he is. Well, it's been great. He's just coming up there. He is. Trying to put a second lap on Jinbo in a second. He's a lap ahead of Hards in third, so it's going well for Lovrencek. Took the lead at the first corner from Croatia. Now he's got Jinbo again ahead of him. Part of the, I think, 5-strong Japanese team. Good overtake there. Just ease off the throttle. Don't get off the line too much, and Jinbo can carry on his way. Lovrencek takes 2 laps on the 6th place man. Car looking quite good. Didn't go too far offline. It's interesting, all these people in this final are taking a completely different attitude to they took in qualifying. They're not pushing it too far. They're all driving within the grip, which is weird. I suppose they're pretty happy where they are. We might see some more, what's the word for it, aggressive driving when there's 10 cars and it's a little bit closer at the front. But of course, Lovrenchik now just needs to stick on line for another 8.5 minutes, and he will bump up and achieve what must surely be his aim for the day. A little bit of waggle under braking into the A main in, now around the A main out. And just looking at the gaps, 13-second lead for the man on the camera here. Lovrenchik from Sam Powell. Sam Powell has a lead of effectively 2/3 of a lap over Paul Hards. Hards has a lead of, again, about 2/3 of a lap over Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa. Da Costa and Armando are quite close together, actually, for 4th and 5th. I'm not sure where they're quite close together, but they're quite close together somewhere. Pick up car 5, going over start finish now. Ash, we haven't shown him. He's not really bumping up, but everyone get a bit of camera time. Oh. You probably saw in the background there a kind of a kamikaze attempt by Armando Oliveira to get past him. So Portuguese local racer with the quite attractive stripy coloured car. Well, I saw the colour car you probably see about 20 years ago. And interestingly, he was quite close to the car 4, but car 4's really having some issues now. I think he's... Ooh, and Paul Large has made a mistake in front of me. Got away with it. So second place Sam Powell is about to lap Paul Hards in 3rd. As these cars spread out. This is the 5 machine. Still running 4th, Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa. Gained a couple of seconds on Hards there. He's 17 behind, so there's a possibility he can still catch Hards up. He's going to need some good laps from him, though. It's got 6 minutes. If he keeps it on the island, there is a possibility he could get near to Hards. Hards has made a couple of unforced errors whilst we've been sort of watching in the background. That time round, he gained 3.3 seconds on Hards. And the lead has come down between 3rd and 4th to, as you can see, just under 14 seconds. Hards that time much better lap, 27.3. So it's going to be hard for Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa on camera to catch him up. Very much, but there's still one big accident between them, so you need marshalling, you'll be in trouble. Yep, it's a slight gain that time to Hards, 0.7 of a second. Sensible lap by Hards. Ooh, it was too wide, wasn't it? He just drifting. Now he's going to be careful because he's going to have rubbish in his tyres for a couple of laps. Might have took a couple of corners. I think he probably wasn't that bad. He may have cleaned it up. There was a lot of sweeping, by the way, so the track was swept, I think, and vacuumed. So there's less balls of rubber to pick up. Still Lovrenchik leading. Carl Sampao 2nd. Paul Hards 3rd. We're looking at the 4th place man because why not? He's about to put a lap on. Another lap on Jinbo. Jinbo 3 laps off the lead and upside down and then back up the right way again. Three of the cars are getting quite close to the track, but they're all on different laps. The Sampao Hards and Armando Oliveira cars are all within about a corner of each other, but they're actually on 3 separate laps. 3.5 minutes left. Let's just drop back one car. That's our leader again. I don't think there's going to be a dramatic comeback by Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa. So let's have a bit look at Dario Lavrincek again. In fact, oof, dear, certainly isn't going to come back before the track like that. So Lavrincek currently bumping into the 32B, and he'll be joined at the moment with 2 minutes 58 seconds to go by Carlos Sampaio and Paul Hards. Sampaio's done a pretty good job of actually beginning to catch up Lavrincek. Lavrincek's lead stretch is now just down to 6 seconds. This is a lot further than anyone's gone during the entirety of the World Championship. All the qualifying races were 10 minutes, so they effectively ran with about 30 minutes. These guys now are on for about 20. So they're in no man's land as far as tyres are concerned, but of course it's not quite so bad because it's chilly out there at the moment, so you're not going to get the big build-up. The clouds have rolled off the hill. In fact, one of the clouds has fallen off the hill and has slunk slightly below the top of the hill. So there's an area of fog sitting on that hillside. But the very top of the hill is clear. Behind us. So a minute 45 to go. That's our leader. Let's find our second place man, car 1. He's about 7 seconds behind. Let's have a little look at him for a lap or two. As we come to the end, also bumping up here is Carlos Sampaio, the local driver from Portugal. It's got the thing very edgy now, isn't it? You just see it's really wanting to bite him on most of the corners. But he's done his job. He's done his job. Pretty much has to do this lap and one more, regardless, and they'll be too far ahead for anyone to catch him up. So Sampaio with 55 seconds to go. And let's pick up Paul Hards in third. Just going to have a start-finish now, Ash. And those are your 3 bump-uppers, barring enormous disasters. As Paul Hards in third is something like 18 or 19 seconds ahead, Oscar Jesus Pereira da Costa. 17 seconds, there we are, I was just second route there. So as he goes over the line now to begin his last lap. Let's pick up our leader again for his last lap, just going over the start finish now, now car 2, Ash. There he is, coming through the Samba S. A victory lap for Lavrincek. Oh, that's not how you end a race. So he's got a bit of tyre issues right at the end there. It's going to make it a bit closer to Sampaio than it was going to be. So that little mistake's going to make Sampaio seem much nearer than he was going to be. But over the line it goes. Lavrincek takes it. And just so you know, Sampaio's going over now. So the distance was, in the end, scored at just 6 seconds, 5.5 seconds. And that is your first final of the day.
A lot less chaotic than expected. Congratulations to all involved.
That's very true.
You should all be proud of yourselves. Pats on the back all round. Thanks for the entertainment. It was, it wasn't a masterpiece, but it was a final.
So we had a lot of chats doing all that.
Yeah. What did
Charles
they say?
Butterworth said, "Come on, Paul Hards."
Yep. He did. Came third.
Hayden Boyd says, 164th B final. Someone explain what that means, please. 64 heats, lol. We've had that already. And then pole position RC, Frank explained it. And he went, you basically have 2 halves, 64A, 64B, and then you go down the Christmas tree. And you have the 32 element, and you have the 32nd, and the 16th, the 8th, and the quarters.
It halves.
It halves each time to get to the final. State of RC, which is, of course, is Matt, says, good morning, Nick. and the rest of the team.
Oh, we don't get named.
Apparently not.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold, that is. That's really cold.
How long do these cars go on a tank of fuel? Says Hayden Boyd. About 35 minutes in these particular conditions. So they're fine for 20. You get 700 cubic centimetres of two-stroke petrol. Semi-finals are half an hour, and the final's an hour, Hayden. So we have an hour-long final in this one.
Tomorrow,
not today. Flipping third producer, sorry he's late, he was getting an ice cream. Nice for you.
Can we, Ash, can we please get a missed progress update? Because it's clearing, but I would love to see...
More mist.
Yeah. We'll do a time lapse.
What chassis you got?
There's lots of times in between each one. Okay, cool. Let's have a look.
Wow.
Look at that.
Look, if you're at the top of the hill, you can see what's going on. There's even a bit of sun there on the left-hand side. But in the middle, you've got clear. Then if you're in that village is bathed in fog.
Yeah.
What chassis are there? RS5 is one of the major chassis. Sports, you've got Replays, you've got Mechatech, you've got Genius, you've got several others. Harm, don't think they do all for racing chassis. Bugazoni is actually near the front as well. Husqvarna, that's more of a kind of an off-road motorcycle, but that's a good try.
Black & Decker.
Doesn't matter how you... Flipping Fair's commenting on my drive. It doesn't matter how you get to the next final, you have to get there. So conservative, consistent, corner is a secret. Well, you're probably right about that. We'd like more like crazy action and crashing. Would be more our sort of thing, wouldn't it?
We would like them to drive it like they stole it.
There's a lovely patch of sunlight now.
That is a postcard right there.
Isn't that pretty?
Anybody wants to take a screen grab and use that as their desktop wallpaper, that's a gift from us, people.
Yeah, a gift of a gift.
It's not a gift.
All right, okay. I was trying to be modern. Hello. just try to be modern. You youngsters, kids today, don't understand them.
Not allowed to say kids anymore.
You know.
No.
Why is that? They're not identified as kids.
No.
Who will be the first to run out of fuel in the semis? I don't think Daniel Santo. They will do, actually. I think they can do about 35 minutes. It's not a particularly thirsty track, this one. And then there's lots of... that was the running information on what was going on there. Exciting, wasn't it?
It was really good. It's good to check in with the community.
Hello, community. We've checked in with you.
We're here to serve them. They're the boss, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. Thing to remember, though, is that you can help us and our community because we have some special things that we want to ask you to do. There's two things you can do. First of all, I think most of you have probably been here all week, so by now I'm sure you have subscribed to YouTube, and I'm sure you have pressed the bell.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. And if you haven't, we won't say anything. Just quietly
just do
go
it,
off and do it,
and we'll let you off. But there's a chance to win €100 to spend on whatever you like by filling out our... this is a completely independent survey. There are no right or wrong answers, and what you say will not affect whether you win or not. But we'd love you to give our opinions on a subject that's very dear to our heart, and it's going to help us try and grow the sport, which I think we all want to do. So there you go. Go over the link is in both the descriptions for YouTube, and actually I'm not sure it is for YouTube. I'll have to put it into YouTube. The link is there for Facebook, and I'm going to put it into YouTube in a second. But you can just write it down there, controlsport.com.
ctrlsport.com/EFRA.
And you can copy and paste that and fill in the form, and you may win. But also be really, really good if you could get your friends to fill in the form who aren't RC people, because what will happen then is they'll be doing you a favour. They go, all right, Fred, I'll do you a favour. But if they win it, they may as well give the voucher to you.
They may as well, because what are they going to buy from, if they have no concept of RC? Maybe. I mean, Murdoch do sell some RTR stuff, so maybe it's a good intro. An entry and an intro. It's a segue of those two things into the world of RC.
Yes, I agree. The cars you hear are warming up for the second of the 164 finals, which is obviously the 164A final. We have Kunihara Ujima from Japan in car 1. They're very close together, aren't they? We have Anders Olsen from Sweden in car 2. We have Yoshito Nakura from Japan in car 3. We have Angelo Vicini from Italy in car 4. We have Pedro Barrera Sanchez from Mexico in 5 and Fernando Rossi for 6. The Japanese guys are absolutely brilliant. There's 40 Japanese racers in the whole of Japan.
Well, that's
of
an
large
unofficial
scale.
A census that was taken.
And there's 5 of them here. It's a bit like the Q80s who turn up to Neo and DXR. When there's a club of 32 and 16 of them turn from Q8 to Telford.
Just saying, right?
Yeah.
5 drivers from Japan.
Yeah.
2 drivers from Portugal. Just saying.
No, there's 4 drivers from Portugal. There's 2 drivers from the UK.
Okay.
It's still, yes, a little
just
bit...
massacred my my pithy point there. So.
But no, I think there's still 5 from Japan, 4 from Portugal.
Just saying.
Mm.
How many from Australia?
4.
Okay, so 9 from a long way away.
2 from Argentina.
4 from next door.
2 from Argentina. 2 from Mexico.
13 from long way away.
Yeah.
13 from long way away.
Long way away.
4 from next door. Just saying.
Just saying. Just saying.
Hashtag just saying. Sorry, not sorry.
Can we kind of avoid hashtag?
Hashtag.
Hashtag, absolutely. Very good point, well made. Right, I'm just putting the link to the survey into the description of today's event.
That's great news.
But you will have to refresh it to get it.
There you all are on the pit lane, all 6 of them lining up. No need for a little splash of fuel because they've got huge tanks. It's going to be fine. It's cold. So they'll just go and line up on the grid now, won't they? I don't think they'll do any more warm-up laps. Warm-up done. Just drive very slowly out to the grid. Is this the one with the Honda Civic? Or is it the Honda Jazz?
I think the Honda might be in there, yeah, at some point.
Car number 1, the Honda Jazz?
Well, no, because one of the Japanese guys had it up, but he only used it in the last qualifying round, so he might decide to go back to one of the more standard bodies. It's exciting to know.
I just thought car 1 there, is it?
He's certainly...
There.
He might
Literally,
be.
bottom of your shot there.
But I can't see whether it's what body shot
You
it
need to
is.
see the front end.
I got... Mr. Cernak? No, that's BMW body. I was going to say that. Yes, obviously this race has 6 cars. All the races after this one will have 10.
Did anybody answer your question
Of what?
about whether the Alpha was ever available to buy in Japan?
No, they were told me whether these Japanese guys, who a lot of them have Alfa Romeo bodies, it was never available. Not quite sure where we're actually going with that one. Looking for the beer tent. There's a car. Frank says hello to the splendid hello to Ash, the tall one and the talky one.
Yeah, that's cold as well.
Roman Varabi says morning Nick, Ash and the other guy.
All right. People are really cold today.
Aren't they?
Do you know what? I'm taking this personally.
I don't blame you, really.
Yeah, I think that's really sad.
9 seconds to go, and you have Hiharu Ujima in 1, Anders Olsen in 2, and you can see Yoshitu Nikado in 3. And a little bit of a wobble from 2, but what a great start. Oh, that really went wrong almost immediately there. So, oh no, that's 2's fault. It was the 2 car just fell off the track. Olsen, and with him he just speared Nakura. Nakura got away better. Olsen's last, so they've gone around, and it's Ujima who was leading, but Ujima is leading. In 2nd place it is Vicini in the 4 car, and in 3rd place it is Nakura, who's now in 2nd place. Nakura's got some pace in that car, hasn't he? Nakura's obviously... Go with Nakura. Move forward, Ash, the blue car, because Nakura's got some right old pace in that thing. Is it being driven by somebody else? Just blasted past people. And now he's setting off after his fellow countryman. Just managed to keep that one from being a tank slapper from hell. So the 3 car, he got punted off at the straight by Olsen, who's now recovered to 5th, the 2 car. Oh. I think he's decided to go for S or B on this one by the looks of it. Laying down some, every now and again he's just effectively pushing as hard as possible, and it's catching him out because the track isn't giving him the grip he wants. But the 3 car did set the fastest lap despite 2 wobbly moments, so he's got a bit of speed in this car, and he's already now looking to catch up his teammate, let's say teammate, his fellow countryman at least, Kunihara Ujima, who was 3 seconds ahead. Behind them, it's Angelo Vicini currently in the final bump-up place, and Pedro Sanchez Barrera from Mexico in 4th. Olsen's in 5th. Fernando Rosa is being dropped slightly, but the others are all still in with a chance. And now the 3 car, absolutely getting onto the tail of the leader, the 1 car in the Castrol Green. You'll see him in the corner there. We are. So there's a battle for first. Not first really matters, but it's, we've got 20 minutes to look at cars. Let's have a look at them having a battle at the front to begin with. So 26-1 from Nakura last time round. You've got blimey, he's absolutely throwing caution to the wind there.
Why not?
Well, doesn't necessarily qualify. If you fall off, oh, and now a mistake from the leader, and this could be a change of the lead of the 164th AFAR. No, Nakura actually, he has got past, because the second place man, who is Kunihara Ujima, got rubbish on his tyres. Okay, drop back to the second place man. Now, second place man. That's just that car going the main straight now. All right, get the yellow car, Ash. Where is the yellow car? There he is, at the top of the straight. Over start finish, bright yellow car. I think Ash was thinking about badminton then.
Don't blame him.
So this is the third place man, Angelo Vicini. Oh, that was the sound of the 3 car falling off the track. So the lead's changed again. This is third. Behind him will be Sanchez in the 2. No, actually, no, it's now Olsen. The recovery drive from Olsen. You'll see him in the back of the shot, I would think. There he goes. That's Olsen trying to catch up. It's Japan 1 and 2, Italy 3, Sweden 4. The all-yellow car of Vicini is being caught up by Olsen. Not hand over fist, but a little bit by little, and there he is right behind him now. So Vicini looking to hold this third place. Olsen looking to find new lines that don't exist as they look for the final bump up slot, and his goal, yep. So Vicini realises he's out and in trouble, and Olsen has sneaked through into third place. I don't think Vicini's got Vicini's wobbling the thing through. I remember now Vicini's lost the place. Is he going to now become one of those guys who suddenly goes about 10 seconds faster? Yeah, look, now he's going for it. Coming up to quarter distance. Vicini, that's a better line there. Doesn't look at that A main in, the best line doesn't look right, because they actually go dead straight. We think they drift out wide to round the corner, but all the drivers do it, so it must be the correct line. 5 car of Sanchez is not far off. Rosa has just been lapped. And the lead for Nakura is gradually creeping out slightly. So the closest battle is this battle between Olsen and Vicini. Olsen that time round was unfortunately, well, I say fortunately for him, unfortunately for the battle, was 9/10 of a second faster. Move forward 1, Ash. Let's pick up the car 2. That is Olsen. Didn't start very well. Hit car 3 off the start line, but then had to come back from dead last, and he's done that. Something you can do in this first heat, because the gap between first and last obviously is quite great. Whereas in the 10 cars you'll find in the 132nd are going to be much, much closer together. So you don't have the luxury of perhaps having a second or 2 seconds lap in hand. Oof. I do feel most of this is on a knife edge of impending disaster.
Best place to be.
I must be, even though 2 races in, I mean, in both times we've had a plethora of replays at the start, and then people have kind of got the idea of not going perhaps 100%. And therefore we've not seen quite so much of the action you'd expect. Seeing that car was rolled in front of me, but that's the 5 car of the Mexican Pedro Sanchez Barrera.
As we know, most 20-minute races are won in the first 2 laps.
Absolutely, that always happens. You're quite right. Never seen it ever change. What I would say, though, is the Japanese team, they've obviously had a really, really good time. They've also obviously decided that the main reason to come here is to buy all the team merch, isn't it? Because they are now all in Mechatech anoraks that none of them had yesterday.
Bathed.
Previously, they started off in the Infinity gear, which meant we all started a rumour. Then they had some stuff from the engine manufacturer, some Harm stuff. Then they got PRT stuff from the tyres, and now they've all bought Mechatech jackets.
Well, they probably did the same thing I did and went, it's Portugal, it's going to be warm. And now they've been buying clothes, more and more clothes every day to layer up because it ain't warm.
Those Mechatech jackets do not look in any way fire resistant.
No.
So I'm kind of thinking they might be allowed in the plane. Let's go and find our leader, just for a bit of a change. Car number 3, Yoshito Nakura, who's about to finish the lap now. He's going to have a start-finish at the moment with the Alfa Romeo body shell, blue and white. He's established a reasonable lead over his countryman, Kunihara Ujima, and that reasonable lead is actually 4.5 seconds. Olsen, who we were watching for a while, is in 3rd, and he is back a further 11 seconds, with Vicini in 4th, 2.4 seconds behind Olsen. And in fact, the Olsen-Vicini thing is getting close again. So can we go and find Olsen again? He's on the A-main in at this moment. That's battle for 3rd suddenly hotted up as Olsen's made a couple of errors and got his tyres dirty, and now he's got to try and look at that speed difference he's got. Just leaps off the corner. There's the battle fire over Vicini up the inside. Ooh! That is a lunge rather than an overtake. You just suddenly saw the opportunity. Out wide went Olsen. Vicini comes in and T-bone him. That's making the highlights real. I'm not sure what's
We'll have a few words to say about that.
It's all going wrong now. There's a lot of. There's now been conversations to be had with various people. Now, Olsen was the innocent victim in that one. He was very much what's the word for it? Attacked by pounced upon. Yes, it was very much like a cat attacking a mouse, wasn't it? Sneak, 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 sneak. Whoosh! Wow. So should have been driving a Jaguar, shouldn't he? But he's back into 2nd. I'm not sure. I think actually
Or a Schumacher.
Yes, I think what Vicini was told to do was let him back through again.
Right.
And he eased off and did let him back through again. So it is Olsen in 2nd. It doesn't appear. And these cars are quite tough. He got hit in body shell, and he seems to be okay. Oh no, he's got a big dent. There's a huge dent in the front of the car. Can you go really tight on the front right? So the front left of the car, that's really dented down where he was landed on. So he's got a completely different area at the front now. He's like the car's winking at you, like that. When he comes back up again, see that side of the car, it's squished by the accident. He's like, I'm winking at you. I've got a winky old Alfa Romeo. So you see it now as he comes in front of us. He's going to wink at us as he comes past. Look, there's no light on one side anymore. It's been dumped in. This doesn't really. One thing I would say about Vicini's car, it does seem to have a number of battle scars on it. Now, it could be he used the wrong paint and it's falling out the inside, or it could be many things have been hit. So let's look at the 4 car now, the car behind the yellow car, Ash, and you can see that that has a number of paint scuffs. In fact, I get the impression he has used the wrong paint because like the paint's falling off from the inside. We've all done that at least once. Use this paint we were told was okay. It doesn't adhere to the inside of the Lexan.
He's used emulsion.
Yes. It's got a bit of Dulux from B&Q. So Vicini still just 2.1 seconds behind Olsen. Which I suppose really, and this is the final bump up, which is why we're following it. Which, oh no, that doesn't help. Which I suppose really is down to Olsen to make a mistake. I'm not sure. Vicini that time round was 8/10 slower. A lot of that in the last corner where he mucked it up. I get the impression, 8.5 minutes to go, that there could be a moment here where Vicini just throws caution to the wind and starts really pushing. He's having trouble at the top of the circuit there. Lost another second. So actually in free air, Olsen's doing pretty well. Nakura has a massive lead now of 16 seconds from Ujima. Ujima's massively ahead of Olsen. difference between Olsen and Ujima, as Olsen comes round now, is 18 seconds. Olsen gains again by about 3/4 seconds. Olsen's about 3/4 seconds faster than Vicini when they're actually all settled down and doing it properly. So he just suddenly lost that pace, didn't he? Halfway round, he just lost that pace. Let's see if we can find our second place man. I don't see much of Ujima, car number 1. That's Olsen's made a mistake, so let's cancel that immediately and go and pick up Olsen and Vicini are right together again. Sorry about that, Mr. Ujima. I'll come back to you later, but now the battle for the final bumper. Vicini up the inside there. So Vicini takes the 3rd place. Olsen's struggling with the dirt he's put in his tyres on the previous mistake, and now he's going to pick up the inside. No, on the A-main in, and then Vicini goes too wide. Oh! And they've had another coming together. So Vicini... Olsen was literally driving right into him there, wasn't he? I don't think that Vicini and Olsen are going to be on each other's Christmas card list. I really don't. So Olsen now through, and he's 2 or 3 seconds ahead again. This is a bit personal, this one, isn't it? That round, Olsen 28.2, Vicini 27.8, so a little bit of a game back for Vicini, who's probably got I think possibly can feel agree. It's 1-1 now, really. I think pretty much the first one was entirely Vicini's fault, and that second one was probably mostly Olsen's fault. Not entirely, because Vicini was offline, but it's mostly Olsen's fault. Not because in trying to get past him, he was angled into him. If he wanted to get past him, he should have been more flatter. Now, interestingly, now it looks like Olsen's lost a bit of pace. And Olsen did a 27.8, 27, he's lost a few tenths per second. So Vicini's absolutely got a bit between his teeth now. You can see him attempting to cross in as they go through the sweeper in front of the rostrum and our camera through the A-main corners. Just to remind you, Yoshito Nakura and Kuniharu Ujima are well with 6 minutes to go. Olsen got a close disaster there. He was almost putting 2 wheels onto the Astro. And they're both going 26.7, so they both... Oh, look at that. Suddenly Vicini gets a drive, and he's right back up on Olsen's backside again. Then he loses a bit by going too wide, trying to steal too much there during the second half of the infield section. And Olsen gets back to a slightly more comfortable lead of, I would say, about 1.5 seconds. Vicini holds the thing nicely in there behind Olsen. They've got a problem, though, because the leader's coming to lap them both. And that was a 3/10 lead. And look, Vicini's very much faster during that Samba S section. He lost time here. He's going to lose less time. That he managed to stay onto the drive area, the grey area, black area. So the drive, and they're right behind each other. Olsen's made a mistake, and Olsen's gone. Right, so, and then Vicini's gone. So they both went together. And now, in getting the leader go through for a lapping, so they've both fallen off the circuit, and we're almost exactly back to where we started again then. And the leaders got through and lapped both of them. 31.8 plays at 31.1. Actually, Vicini still managed to gain some time in that time, despite being some of it off the track. 4:42 to go. Final bump-up place we're talking about. 2 Japanese drivers away and going up to the 132nd. And Vicini now right behind Olsen. Vicini is the yellow car, Olsen the white and black, leading this one. Oh, Vicini at the inside. Behind them, they've got the second place man, Ujima. Looking to put a lap on them, which could be difficult because they're not really in the mood to be lapped by anyone. And Olsen's gone white. Oh, look at that, Vicini avoiding the rejoining Olsen. Now, I don't know what Ujima's going to do about this because he's looking like he's got to really worry about this. Olsen again is showing the straight line speed and Vicini making a slight mistake. Now, Vicini may at this point think about letting the second place man through. They're back close together again. A lot more speed carried by. It's interesting because that short chute is very much the property of Vicini in the yellow car, but the main straight is absolutely Olsen's domain. Vicini trying to go tight up the inside. And it's not just the stretching and foreshortening of distance by speed. There's a notable extra kick off the line, which Olsen gets. So Vicini drop back. I wonder where the Japanese driver, I think, yeah, it looks like either made a mistake or Jima's just gone, do you know what, let them do what they want to do. There's 3 minutes to go. They're a lap behind me. I'm not going to get too worried. Now, Olsen's now settled down a little bit. And for the first time in 3 or 4 laps, he's giving himself a bit of a gap. Vicini's going to need to find a bit more. Vicini actually this time is absolutely risking all down the top corner. So Olsen, you'll see Vicini fly into his frame now. And yeah, Olsen's gained that last time round by 0.4 of a second. But Vicini looks slightly better during the part of the track he doesn't do particularly well. And there he is. Right man, Olsen made a mistake, which he's back up again. So Vicini now picks up the 3rd place. And the final bump up place has Olsen made a mistake at A-main in. Now they're back up this way again. And Olsen will get much, much closer here. And look at the driver. They come and start. No, it doesn't get it. Down to 2 minutes and 31 seconds. These two drivers fight for the final bump up place, the 132nd final. Just remind you, Nakura and Ojima very comfortably going to be 1st and 2nd. Olsen, the white machine, now looking for... Oh, no, you're off the line there, mate. That's not good for drive. He's got away with it. Now looking at the inside of Vicini. Olsen... No, Vicini got a better drive that time. And they managed to avoid one dead car. They're coming up on the 3 car. And Nakura has made a mistake, the leader. But he's still lapping a bit ahead. So Olsen continues to be trying to catch Vicini up, and there they are. Good thing is Nakura's got some basic patience who pull him away from this battle. Olsen, they're right together now, and Olsen this time got a little bit more speed. Now it's about how they take this corner, and they both say, okay, now Olsen coming over the timing scoring loop in front of us, now through the switchback. Now at this point I expect to see a little bit of a stretch as Vicini just does that slightly better. He struggles on this corner, has struggled on this corner, gone a bit wide, it's okay. So Olsen following round, minute 26 to go. So I'd say this, oh, and Olsen's blown it. Olsen's blown it. This and 2 more, and Olsen just suddenly lost it there with 2 to go. So let's go and look at Vicini, because unless Vicini makes a mistake now, that's going to be his to go. And Vicini to wind this one right down now. He can afford to go something like 2 seconds a lap slower over these remaining couple of laps. Just stick on the line and don't make a mistake. And the Italian will qualify, and Anders Olsen, oh, that's a little bit too slow to be honest. I think he really is concentrating on staying on the line. That's, I think he may have reined it back a bit too much there. Olsen was 5 seconds back last lap. It's a lot less already because Vicini has completely loused this lap up. He's bent down, he lost 3 seconds to Olsen. There is Olsen in the background with this lap and 1 more. And Vicini, who had basically got the bump up, has lost it again. Olsen's at the back of him. So Olsen gained so far. Has Vicini got a problem? Vicini lost speed. 18 seconds to go. They're going to get 1 more lap. But look, Vicini just lost all momentum as they fight for this last lap to bump up. And what looked like a done deal. Now Olsen's looking at Charles again. He's going to get past him. He's done it. Olsen's got it back over 2 laps after that disaster. Vicini's had the problem. Vicini goes, oh, that's not how you do it. That is not how you do it, where you just go for it in the inside. Oh, bang, and goodbye. And off they go. So Vicini, I don't know what happened his last 3 laps. Things just didn't work for him. He had a 5-second lead. That's all gone to nothing. So Nakura's going to win this one. Ujima's 2nd. 3rd place across the line goes Olsen, and Vicini picks up 4th in what was a very entertaining battle for 3rd. So thank you, boys. And that is the 160 4th final. Hey. So next up, 132nd. So Nakura, Ujima, and Olsen bump up. Okies, mate. That was quite a good fun race. I enjoyed that.
Hello.
Hello. You disappeared halfway through.
Yeah, I'm working on Breakfast with Champions.
Fair enough. When's that coming out?
Well, as you've said to people, either next week or the week after.
Oh, either the coming Wednesday or the Wednesday after.
The coming Wednesday or the following Wednesday. I don't know. What's best?
Don't know, really.
Ash, please can we get a missed update? Please. He's going. He's doing it. Look, he's doing it.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't look, where I'm looking straight ahead, which he hasn't got the same angle, doesn't look anything like as misty as that.
Yeah, he's got the mist filter on.
Ah, thought so. Baz BZB was not impressed with Mr. Vicini's driving.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, dear. I mean,
To avoid channels, he'd send it, and the Mercedes was sending towards the end, that's for sure.
there was sending. Bit of sending. So we're up to the next level now.
We are.
On
10
the Christmas
cars.
tree.
10 cars on the Christmas tree, yeah.
To keep track of.
Yeah. So you can see there's 10 names are already up there on the left-hand side. And they are Valentin Saavedra of Hispania, Tomoki Okuda from Japan, Michele Pagano from Italy, Leon Gulickson from Norway, David Mutt from Spain, Luis Rinzinvillo from Venezuela, Kazuhiko Iunu from Japan, and then 3 bump-ups, which was Daniel Lovrincek from Croatia, Carlos Sampao from Portugal, and Paul Hards from the UK. The 132nd one. Thank you to Samba. Thank you to Amain.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you to you who are watching and enjoying the finals on this fine Friday morning. Do not forget, if you have not done it, to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell to be informed of when we are going live, because there may be times we go live when we don't pre-announce it. Who knows? Depends how particularly naughty we're feeling at the time.
Ring that bell.
Ding-a-long-long. Ling. And the link, if you refresh the page, if you're watching on YouTube, or just go to the page, or look at the bottom of the description in Facebook, you'll find the link to the Control Sport survey, which we'd be very chuffed if you could fill out. But we've had how many people have filled it in so far?
Oh, I don't know. I've not checked this morning.
Because we had got a ridiculously good feedback. We were quite chuffed about it.
We were really chuffed.
In an hour and a half, we got more than Matt thought he was going to get in the entire month.
Yeah.
And you've been saying some very... and by the way, there's no right or wrong answers to this. We're not looking for an answer. It's a completely random prize.
Yeah.
And there are no right or wrong answers. And if you really love the thing we're talking about, tell us. But if you really hate the thing we're talking about, tell us as well. But don't just say I hate it. Tell us why. And don't just say I love it. Tell us why.
Because if you want it to get better, you've already got something in common.
Yes.
With the people that run IFMAR. You've already got something in common because everybody wants to improve things.
I agree. So there's a more warm-up first before they get underway with the final itself. Another 20 minutes. All the races today are 20 minutes. We have 8 of them. We've had 2 already, so there's 6 more to go. We've only got another 3 hours of entertainment. Well, hopefully. Some of the finals can be less than entertaining, but I'm hoping that they'll be entertaining. Have you got your number yet?
Nope.
Okay, track is open for a 3-minute warm-up.
I don't know how the internet works anymore.
It's magic. Basically, several very, very active hamsters run around making things happen.
Annoying.
We were getting you're getting the numbers earlier.
I know, but it's because I've logged in as a different as a different Google account. But I don't know how to log in as the original Google account.
Oh, I had the same problem with that. Something I had to go onto a different browser to do that.
Yeah, but running out of browsers.
It wouldn't let me do it. Okay, I have 3 active browsers I have to use because of this weird lock features.
That's the technical term.
It certainly bloody is.
Here we go.
We're
about to watch a movie.
Yes, well, in the 1970s. So, warm up. That's a 4-minute warm up, is it? Or 5-minute warm up? Wow. I think it's a 5-minute warm up. There's a lot of huffing from the left hand side there.
Oh, is it? It doesn't make it easy for you to change user anymore. You used to say switch account or something.
David Channel, do they race in the rain? Yes, they do race in the rain, but they won't have to. No, it does look overcast, and there is the opportunity. There's a chance it might do. It isn't. It was spitting when we got here on Tuesday. There's a chance it might do it again, but there is no predicted rain. Well, they're hoping it sprinkles a bit, says Devoid Channel. Devoid Channel subbed way back before the greatest race ever. Blimey, okay. What final is Craig Orman in? I don't know is the answer to that, Dave. My guess is this the he's in the 16th B. My guess is the 16th B, actually, Dave. Yeah, I can get that all along.
Okay, so we've had well over 100 responses.
Woohoo!
It's slowed down a bit overnight, so we need to step it up.
Step it up.
However, 98.3% of the respondents have been involved in the world of radio control cars.
Get your friends involved.
So
Get
we
your
need
friends
to
involved.
we need more respondents from outside of the world of RC. That's really important. Really important. So please, 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 could you share? Just share that link. ctrlsport.com/EFRA. Share that on your Facebook with your just generally say. Could people do us a favour and fill it out? I'm gonna share it in a bit as well.
I'm going to share it now. I haven't shared it yet. I need to find it, and I'll share it.
You can. You
With
could
my
also.
friends.
It's on. You could share the
I have-
RC Racing TV post.
That's
That's
what
a
I'm
good
going to do.
one.
Because
Yeah.
I have full-scale friends, of course.
Yeah.
Some of my friends aren't all midgets. Some are full size. However, again, the limitations. Here we go. Here we go. No, it's a photo. Oh, that's annoying. Come on. It's amazing how annoying some parts of these things are. There we go. Posting as myself. Sharing. Now public.
Boom.
Boom, it's shared. Okay, guys, we're going to drive. The cars are going to drive out, and we'll have the next 20-minute final. So it's Valentin Saavedra in 1, Tamaki Akuda in 2, Michele Pagano in 3, Leon Gulickson in 4, David Mutt in 5, Luis Rinzinvillo in 6, Kazuhiko Iunu in 7, Dario Lovrincek in 8, Carlos Sampao in 9, Paul Hards in 10. Top 3 bump to the 16th B, which takes place in about an hour. Going all the way to the 8th finals today. Quarters, semis and main final tomorrow. And it's like a relatively clean start for most of the cars. A bit of a scuffling about the midfield. The car 3's had a bit of a disaster. Oh, flippity-dippity. Someone swapped it. And the back of the field, 5, 9, 10, 3, have all had nightmare starts. But the first 3 are away there and on camera. So David Mutt, Kazuki Inu, Paul Hards and Michele Pagano all got involved in various instances in the first 3 corners. But we're now up and away and running with the top 3. And it's car 1 of Valentin Saavedra leading. Car 2 of Tamaki Akuda second. Leon Gulickson from Norway in 3. And in 4th place, Dario Lovrincek looking for a double bump up. And then we have the 7 of Kazuki Iinu. And we're looking at our 3rd place man, Leon Gulickson from Norway, being dropped a little bit by the first 2. White and green. The all-green car ahead of him is the Japanese driver Akuda. And Saavedra from Spain looking very much like he knows exactly what he's doing at the front. These 3 have got a nice little break from Lovrincek. So 1, 2, 4 and 8. Lovrincek is way back, and interestingly about this is that obviously the lap times already have dropped down, so we've got 25s being done by the leaders compared to the 26s we've seen before, so we've already got a second, but Lovrincek's got to try and find pace he didn't have before. The 3 car of Pagano I thought be moving forward isn't, but the 5 car of David Mutt is. And off the track has gone the 7 of Iunu. So it's all kind of going a bit crazy. And the 4 car is looking like it's on ice at the moment. So our 3rd place man, as you can see, dropping away from Valentin Saavedra and Tamako Akuda. Hopefully you've noticed overnight that we've got the car numbers changed. I think that's too much to Stefan, our fantastic international Swedish wizard of timing, who's made the car numbers much more easy to read. So as you can see, 1 and 1, 2, 2. In third position it's car 4 and fourth car 5. So constantly working being done by Matt and Stefan to improve the timing, and genuinely, I'd like to say personally, as part of the RCTV crew, thank you very much for making it so effective. Now, Gulickson's had a bit of a better lap than Marco Okuda, and looking to go, oh no, that's not how you do it. He's come in, he's seen his chance, he's swept round the outside of Okuda, but Okuda's still there. And that is the definition of a racing instance. No one's fault. It was just a kind of an over-optimistic, shall we say, attempt to get past. And that's now thrown him into competition with David Mutt in the 5 car. Mutt gets a horrendous kind of ABS situation there, where he's locked up and he's squirreling in trying to hold the car back. He's effectively gone, oh hello, I could get myself into a bump up position here. And then the car was all over the shop. Pagani, who started in 3rd, is being lapped. And that's him being lapped there by Gulickson, who's still in 3rd, and appears to put quite a bit of distance between himself and David Mutt behind him. So Gulickson actually appears to have, in a clear air, some pretty good ground speed. So the car between them, David Mutt, as you can see, is only 1.2 seconds behind on the timing, but he's got Michele Pagano between them, who's currently running last. So leading, Saavedra, he's got a lead of about 4 seconds from Gulickson now, who's scored 2nd. So what's happened there? So Okuda's obviously had an accident off camera and dropped back to 4th. So this man's now dropped back 1 because he's now in 2nd. So it's the 5 car in 3rd of Mutt, and then Okuda a long way back. I think Okuda's had an absolute nightmare. Yeah, Okuda's way back. So something's happened to Okuda, and he drops to 4th. Whereas, actually what's happened is Kazuku Inu has got ahead of his countryman, so now it's the 7 car in 4th. Okuda's had 2 bad laps. So the 7 car runs in 4th, and they've just had a most amazing oversteer. I've dropped back 1 car, Ash, and this is your 4th place man, the bright green with the white nose of Okuda. So Inu is ahead of Okuda. This is Kazuhiko Inu on the Japanese team. Currently just ahead of his Japanese teammate, but neither of them are bumping up at the moment. 2 cars are down a lap, which is Rinzinvillo and Michele Pagano. Hards is going to go down a lap quite soon, and has just gone down a lap, so Hards is down a lap too. Sampaio, the last man on the lead lap, as we are just about 6 minutes to the 20 down. So a little bit of an increase in push here, and you can see it, and the cars are moving around a little bit more. They're not quite so happily nailed to the track. Gulickson now is scored first because something happened to Saavedra, so this is all going on all the time. Let's pick up our leader. He's coming down the main straight now. He's got Saavedra, so 1st and 2nd and 3rd are right together. First is rolled over, so that's 2nd and 3rd. I said 1st and 2nd now, which is Saavedra and Mutt. We just saw Gulickson. I think we probably just caught him, he came to it. Gulickson got it wrong round the corner and dropped himself back to 3rd. This is 1st and 2nd. White into pink is Valentin Saavedra of Spain. His fellow countryman David Mutt is the yellow, or the flory, greeny, yellow and blue. Oh, and that's not why you want to do it. And as he gets going now, 2nd and 3rd are going to come quite close together. As Gulickson's broken his wing. Just go onto the 4 car, and the 4 car behind him. Yep, back one. No, that's it. And then zoom in, you'll see that he has broken his wing. So I'm not sure how important the wings are in these cars. Aero is quite important in this speed, but Gulickson now is running with no wing of doing anything particularly about it, which should mean he's, certainly as the speed goes up, he's going to run out of rear downforce. I'm not sure how much it provides, but it's on there, so it's doing something useful. I don't think it's the end of the world not having it, and what's definitely helped him just then is the Japanese team has hit each other. Both Japanese cars have hit each other. So, so he's got a bit of a buffer now as Gulickson. And before Okuda now, who's got past Ianu, and that gap is 7 seconds, which Gulickson is sitting in. And now he's upside down, and that's going to take that right away. I'm not sure, I'm a bit too late for the replay, sorry about that. But he now needs to be marshalled. He's been marshalled by his running marshal. And right behind him now is the 2 car. Oh, and it's just gone. I think that may well be a combination of poor tyres and the lack of rear downforce. He's got a bit of an advantage in the 7 car, who was also challenging him, is off the track and needed marshalling too. It looks now like something has gone more wrong, or he just can't get the tyres clean, because Okudu now is very much in, I think he's got horrendous terminal oversteer now. Now, that would be what you think it would be if you had no rear wing, but he was handling it quite well to that roll incident, which makes me think that, oh dear, makes me think possibly that something else has gone, or perhaps where it is now, it's causing him definite problems. And this is Gulickson now, who's dropping down into 5th, and my guess is probably going to have to pull this thing in quite soon. Lots of problems for drivers there, and Gulickson's having this problem. Sam Powell's had a problem, Inu's had a problem. So it's Valentin Saavedra who's leading this. Mutt is 2nd. Okuda is 3rd. And we'll probably leave Gulickson's terrible time. Let's pick up Loving Chick, who's going over the line now. He's number 8. He's white into black into red. He's coming down the San Bacana here now. So, right, this is Dario Lovrincek, of course, who won the 64th B and now is bumped up. And he is actually running 4th. He's not that far behind Okuda. He's 5 seconds back from Okuda. His problem is he hasn't really got a massive amount of ground speed. His fastest lap is best part of a second slower than Okuda, but Okuda has made mistakes. His advantages is that Gulickson, Ianu, Sampao, Rinsvilo and Pagani have all already blown their chances. So it's all a little bit now about whether he can actually make up the distance on the 2 car, which he's not massively behind. There, across the line now has just gone Okuda. There across the line goes Lovrincek. He gained 2/10 on the Japanese driver that time, but he's going to have to go in a bit quicker than that. We have got half the race to go still. So can the Croatian double bump, which would be a pretty impressive thing. Often you get people at the bottom of a qualifying who shouldn't be there because they've had a bad combination or couldn't get enough runs. But when you only have to do one fast run out of 9, which is what they had to do in qualifying, it's very hard for people to be massively out of position because anyone can get one decent run out of 9. So Lovrincek that time around gained 4/10 on Okuda. So that is Okuda, and he goes. Wow. So Lovrincek has got Okuda. So Okuda in the green car suddenly lost drive off camera, dropped back to the green car. So that's Okuda, who's just dropped into 4th place and now needs to get back up again. So Okuda's had a bad lap. Oh, and Lovrincek is all over the top. No idea what happened there. Let's see if we captured it on the replay. So what did it? He went off the track, and that is Lovrincek. He was in a bump up position there for about half a lap with the RS5 replay. So back into the bump up position goes Tomoko Okuda with a very attractive green Alfa Romeo body, and Lovrincek with a 30-second lap drops back to being 3.6 seconds back from Okuda. So all the work was done by Lovrincek, and then a lap later it was all lost again. Just to remind you, Valentin Saavedra and David Mutt are in 1st and 2nd. So it's a Spanish 1-2, and they're a long way ahead of Okuda. They are 15 seconds up the road. There's Akuda. Akuda's managed to put down a couple of decent laps. 25.7 there. He managed to get another 3 seconds on Lovrenchek. So when he's actually got the thing pointing in the right direction, a lot more pace in this Japanese car than in the Croatian. But that's going to lose him at least a second, not a second and a half. But, you know, kept it pointing in the right direction, which is key. And Akuda that time of 28.4. Yeah, so he did lose that time. And the time round for Lovrenchek was a 27.3. So, yeah, I mean, it's very much within the Japanese's remit, whether he bumps or not, because he's got the basic pace, but he's obviously got to keep the car on the black stuff, and then literally, not just the tarmac, on the black part of the tarmac, because there's a car off the track there. I think might well be, yeah, it is. It's Leon Gulickson. Kazuki Inu is beginning to make a bit of a comeback as well towards his goal, which is to catch Lovrenchek and move himself back into a chance of winning. So Inu had a very bad couple of laps. This is his teammate Akuda on camera at the moment. Akuda looking quite relaxed about the whole thing in third. I'm saying that, a bit of a wobble. And ahead of him, that's Pagano. Okay, Pagano's it's just not worked for him today, unfortunately, the Italian. And he's running in last and just, I think, crashed in the first corner. Probably likely he may have slightly deranged the car, you know, within a few yards of starting. So up the inside of the 4 cars, that's Gulickson getting lapped again by Akuda. Now Lovrenkrantz is not... Lovrenchek, sorry, is still not letting go at 5 seconds behind. So Ianu has had a long lap, which hasn't helped him at all. And he is 15 seconds behind Lovrenchivik. So there's a lot of this going on, and there's a massive clumping of cars as well around them, and all on different laps. Paul Hards, for you British fans, is running in 6th. He's a couple of laps back, but he's got himself a decent run. He'll get a good finish overall at the World Championships. There's the slight oversteer. Drop back 1 car, and that is Paul Hards running in 6th. Let me help from everything on camera. Just coming down to the last quarter of this race. 5 minutes or so to go. And Saavedra leads. He's extended his lead slightly from David Mutt. He had a bad lap last time, that's why. 4-second extension. Lovrenchek and Akuda remain more distant. Oh. And go with the colourful cars just gone past him. Go one forward. Go forward 1 car, Ash. Forward 1 car. Because that is Saavedra. That's our leader. He comes through to complete, or almost, he's on his 37th lap at the moment. Off the track there is the 9 car of Carlos Sampaio. Gets put back on again as Saavedra completes another lap, and his lead over his fellow countryman David Mutt with 4 minutes to go is class of 8 seconds. Saavedra's coming up to lap 3rd place man Akuda, who is actually now in quite a relaxed 3rd place because Lovrenchek doesn't really have the pace to do anything about this, and the other drivers have all, who might have done, have all made mistakes. So that's 1st and 3rd in the same frame, but it's 3rd ahead of 1st because 1st is about to lap 3rd, if that makes sense. So Saavedra lifting up a little bit onto 2 wheels there. He's got a little bit of damage on that car. The front right of the actual car, so The left, as you look at it now, coming towards us, is slightly crumpled at the front. He's got a kind of lifted up air element to the front air dam, but I'm sure that's just a minor tweak on the shell that can be popped out with a finger in a couple of seconds. Well, but yeah, he has got a body flap, so we're getting a slightly different aero approach. It's not massive. A little bit of Savage having a bit of a wobbly moment now. What happened there? Just suddenly lost all confidence in the forward motion of the car. I think what we are seeing is they're getting the back end of these races, and these tyres are suddenly doing 20 minutes of quite hard running. And they're all finding it, getting it a little bit more squirrely on the tyre. See, I just don't think he's got the grip at the moment. I think he's effectively, now he's hanging on. He was 28 last time round. I had a mistake. Let's see if he does this time round with a clearer run. There's nice driving by Michele Pagano, lets him through. That lap round for Saavedra was a 26.4. His best was a 24.9. Oh, just looking a little bit wobbly. Now, it may just be that he got a couple of corners wrong before, and I wasn't really concentrating. I was looking at the timing, and he may have therefore had dirt in his tyres. Who's that abandoned in the middle of the track? Was that Akuda who was parked? Yeah, Akuda's had it. No, is that Akuda? No, it's not. It's Gulickson again, who without the rear wing is having a lot of problems. Minute and a half to go. This is our leader. There's no real battle. Let's just drop back to car 5, who's going across start finish now. Lots of light yellow and black. And just made a mistake as soon as I said that, and he should be coming back in your frame. There he is. That is David Castelvi, the Spaniard. In second, been in second for most of the race actually. So he's a long way ahead of third, and he's quite a bit of way behind first, despite first having a relatively wobbly couple of laps. Car drifts out slightly. Ooh. And he's off the track. I don't know why he's off the track. Ooh, careful, because if he needs to get marshalled, it could be a problem. But this, I think, is indicative of the fact that cars do get quite difficult at the end of the 20-minute run. That car 6 rejoining is Luis Rinzinvillo, who's just managed to overtake Paul Hard. But as you can see, it's lucky there are some big leads for these drivers, because they are having quite difficulty at the back end of this race. So Matt Castellvalli just did a 35 while he was skidding around on the slippy stuff. That time round was a 28. So yeah, the pace has completely fallen out of the car now. But he has a massive lead over Akuda. Akuda has a massive lead over Lovrincek. Saavedra in first has a huge lead over both of them. So they've done the work in the earlier part of the race, which has given them enough time to make up for that later. Paul Hard, unfortunately, has had to withdraw with a problem, just being run back by Craig Orman. And that will be the last lap. Castelvalli finishes. So it's Valentin Saavedra who's going to win this. He hasn't finished quite yet. He's a lap here, everybody. Second will be Castelvalli. David Mutt Castelvalli. And Tomaki Akuda from Japan will also bump up in third. Dario Lovrincek got close to a double bump up but didn't quite make it. Kazuki Inu from Japan is fifth. Luis Rinzinvillo from Venezuela behind him in sixth. Carlos Sampaio from Portugal in seventh. Leon Gulickson, who lost his wing, and things were going well, he lost his wing, is in eighth. Michele Pagano, which never really worked for, if we're really honest about this, is in ninth. And Paul Hards is the only driver who didn't make the trip, down in 10th. Didn't do the last 2 or 3 laps, so he should have been about 6th, but he wasn't. If buts and maybes, he wasn't. He was last. Okay, mate. So that was the first of the 32nd B finals. Ooh, old friends. So, how's everyone on the class? I think it was another quite reasonable race. It died down towards the end. Everyone's trying to think how much these things cost. They're quite expensive. If you want a short course, wasn't that. Speed 36, which RC racing is popular in the States? It is popular in the States, just it's different classes. Hello, Cormac. Cormac White, how are you, sir? What's the temperature outside? It's about 16. We were talking about you, Cormac, on the first day. We're talking about you and your world of PUBG commentary. So it's nice to have you with us again. Well, you said you should have come along. Should be here, Cormac. But yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether you're in Ukraine now, back in Ireland. But it's nice to see you doing a bit of commentary in the world of esports. Is it esports? I don't know. It's E, I suppose. It's PUBG. I don't know. It's esports or just E stuff. I've got no idea what Frank's on about. Oh, I see. So he wants to race all these cars. We all want to race all the cars. I think these look a lot of fun. I think I might do a lot of damage. But who knows? A bit of a break. Unfortunately, what has happened is that Matt's gone off to do GVs for the end of the day. And I kind of like to... two things I'd like to happen. One, I'd like to have a natural break. And which I can't do. And two, I'd like to have a coffee. So the lack of a co-commentary or co-person to hold the fort whilst one is doing that is... yes. Back in Ireland. Okay, that's cool. I just wondered. So, you know, I actually did an esports commentary, Cormac. I did an esport. I did a R Factor 2 for World's Fastest Gamer. I was commentating at Silverstone, but I was just commentating in an office at Silverstone, even though the track was around the corner and it was MotoGP weekend. And we gave away, it was a $1 million prize at the end of it. It was a qualifier. And World's Fastest Gamer, it's, they're taking esport drivers into the real world. And this was the R Factor 2 qualifier, and a guy from Macedonia won it. And they're all about to go on a big tour in California, these 10 finalists, where they're going to do virtual racing and real racing at various tracks. And the winner gets a $1 million prize, which is actually a season's racing in sports cars all around Europe and I think also in Australia as well. It's not 19, Avgas Stevie. So, yeah, esports. It's a coming thing. I've only done one esports commentary. I really enjoyed it. I gave away a £30,000 virtual driving rig on the show. But it was good fun. It's a good fun bit of commentary. The virtual Sebring. And it's very well mapped. It's not quite. I mean, I don't think. I still don't think that virtual racing is anything like as I come here. I really enjoy the virtual racing. It was great, but I come to a real race meeting, and by that I mean actual cars doing actual thing and no control R, and it's very different. These stakes are higher, but what I liked about the R Factor 2 commentary I did was that there was jeopardy. If you actually hit another car, you picked up damage on your car, so they were being very, very careful. I did watch a very big showy production for Gran Turismo, which was on the same weekend, I think coming from New York, or it could have been coming from Chicago. And I watched the races there, and it was the thing I hate about virtual racing, where effectively cars were bouncing off the walls, but they weren't getting any damage. So it was very exciting. You had 12 cars going around this kind of road oval thing, and they were all together the whole time. They were slipstream, but it wasn't real because they punted the person at the back. They didn't get any damage to the front of their car, and the car at the front didn't particularly go offline, and they'd spin wide and just bounce off the walls. And no. If you bounce off a wall, your car's destroyed. You know, if you're going to do virtual racing, then you should have the virtual jeopardy as well. I understand that if you're doing it online, you've got to have a little bit of wherewithal to avoid the lag situation. But if you're actually racing as they were on a LAN, then no, if you hit someone, you get damage. Anyway, that's some of my esports. I think it's absolutely, it is obviously going to be a coming thing. I do prefer the real stuff, but if anyone wants to give me some more esports commentary, more than happy to do it, and I enjoyed it very much. It was a very professional team. Right, so let's talk about what's going on here, because this is what we're doing, and it's the 1:32 A final. And in car 1, it's David Murdoch from Australia. Car 2 is Mario Dada from Italy. Car 3, Samuel Vaza from Switzerland. Car 4, Paul Leaf-Millen from Australia. Car 5, Patrick Bardet from Denmark. Car 6, David DeFeo from Switzerland. Car 7, Claudio Rossi from Italy. Car 8, Yoshitu Nakura from Japan. Car 9, Kunihura Ujima from Japan. Car 10, Anders Olsen from Sweden. So Nakura, Ujima and Olsen bumped up. So we have 2 Australians, 2 Swiss, 2 Italians, 2 Japanese and 2 Scandinavians. 1 from Sweden and 1 from Denmark. So it's 2 by 2 by 2. It's a Noah's Ark final. So, engine running. So we're going to wait the cars now. They will drive. Oh, they've changed around the pit positions there. So they're going to drive to the pit lane. From the pit lane to the pit, to the grid. Sorry, that was bad English. Anyway, enough of esports. Enough of full-size sports. We've now got scale motorsports, and the biggest of the scale motorsports, 1/5 large-scale touring car, 1:32 A final, 10 cars. Will we see another? We've seen the first final was a little bit dull, but then the next two have been very good. So pretty good stuff. Off we go. 32nd A. That'll be followed by the 2 16 finals and the 2 8 finals. So you've got 5 more finals today before we stop at about 2 o'clock local time, 3 o'clock in mainland Europe. And you then go off and do other things and come back tomorrow with the quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the final. All of those races are half an hour. So on the line, David Murdoch from Australia in 1, Mario Dada from Italy in 2, Samuel Vaza in 3, and Paul Leaf-Millen in 4. So Australia, Italy, Switzerland, Australia are your 4 cars on view. I think and for some reason Matt's coming to do some tap dancing as the sun comes out and the cloud is slowly burning. And by slowly I mean slowly. We have got a small patch of sun that's going to come out. Hello, Matt. The old man.
There was a few spots of rain while I was out, but that was about 5-6 minutes ago.
No, now the sun's come out.
Hooray!
Hooray for the sun! The sun, hurrah! And they're off. The 32nd A final, a great start from second place Dada, and a poor start from our leader, who's already in third. As they go past, it's Dada, Vaza, Murdoch, Bardet, Paul Leaf-Millen, DeFeo, Rossi, Nakura, Ujima, and Olsen is your order of 10. And they sprint round the corner now, 1, 2, and 3 quite close. Oh, and the tail shown there by Dada in the green car. No, see, there's 3 cars. That's Vaza in the green car. He's got himself into the lead. Let's stay with the front, Ash. Second and third looking close, so let's look at second and third, which is 5 and 1. So that's Bardet and our pole man Murdoch. And there's already a problem for the car 4 of Paul Leaf-Millen. He's given himself a major headache by crashing. Start of lap 2. It's back on the track, but he's got a huge amount of time to make up. His best part of a lap behind now. He has given himself 90 minutes to do it, and the leader there just got confused going around. Oh, they've come together. So round he goes. It's the 5 car of Bardet, and it's not his fault because the 3 machine of Vassar just kind of stopped in front of him, trying to get a little bit of the other leaders as well. So 1, 2, and 3 together. Vasa's now not in the top 3, so it is going to be the 5 car that's leading this one. So it's Patrick Bardet. Second place now is our pole man David Murdoch, and then the third place is our number 2 car Mario Dada. Then it's the 8 machine Yoshita Nakura, And then Rossi and... Where's Barder gone? Right, I've got Waza, sorry, I think he's in 6th. Okay. Barder and Waza, it's all gone totally wrong, my brain there. So, Paul Leaf-Millen is absolutely dead last and trying to catch people up. But now, sprinting through the top corner is the 1, 2 and 3 with 2 and 3. With Murdoch in the 2nd place. And he's looking quite good, like he's now going to start moving forward. So is Murdoch going to be able to get closer to the leader, or will he be snaffled up by 3rd place? There's 1st and 2nd in your frame. Patrick Barder from Denmark and the Australian David Murdoch. Murdoch with this deep red machine. The Flory Orange, the leader, of course, is a more pinky car, and they're coming together and they're blocking each other. It's all gone terribly wrong. What is going on there? As they get together, the 5 and the 1, they stop, and then through goes the 2. And was it a chance there that sneaking underneath all of that was just Shita Nakura? Double bump possibly for Nakura, because he's now leading with some great sneaky driving there, coming through the gap with the blue car. This 2 car of Dada is in 2nd, and there's a massive gap in 3rd. Drop back to 3rd and 4th, Battle Ash. And that is between 1 and 7 now, the 7 car being Claudio Rossi. So the blue checkered tail is Rossi. This deep red machine is the pole sitter, David Murdoch, as the sun does come brightly out now. And the big news of the first 4 minutes or so is that Yoshito Nakura is leading this from 8th on the grid and looking like he might be heading for our first double bump up. Murdoch settling it down a little bit in 3rd place. Behind him is Rossi, the 7 car. And there's all sorts of trouble behind them. But they are all, now we've got a bit of gap, but it is Rossi. The closest battle is 3rd and 4th. And you can see, I'm not sure we're going to see the 4th place man behind him. I'm sure as they come around this corner, you don't get a chance to see the 4th place man. There he is. You also saw a flash of the 2nd place man as well. So they've got themselves sort of equidistant. You can see 2 and 3 seconds apart. This is Murdoch in 3rd. Move forward 1 car, Ash. Move forward 1 car, Ash, to the 2 car. And that is Mario Dada, Italian. Took 2 bites there at the A main in, and now with the A main out. Oh, up and 2. A little bit of a squirrel there. 132nd A, got the 16s to come. Sweeping round. So the 2 car, Dada, is just... Sorry, Dada's now leading and Nakura's missing. Ah, no, Nakura's made a mistake. Nakura's slid off the track. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Nakura underneath us slid off the track. So, looking at the 2nd car, superb save there by car 3, Samuel Vazza. That held the back the car in. And Murdoch has pulled into the pits, so that's bad news for Australian fans. This man now is our leader, with Bardet in 2nd, and it says Nakura in 3rd, and it is Nakura in 3rd. Murdoch, unfortunately, in 4th place, has pulled in. Rossi is also late. And Rossi moves to 4th. So Paul Leaf-Millen, who started dead last, is now 7th. And Murdoch is out. So I'm sorry for Australian fans. One of your drivers is out. One of your drivers is trying to battle back from near the last. So right, Bardet on camera in 2. Let's see if we can find... Now, Dada on camera. Nakura in the 8 car has got past Bardet, who's obviously made a mistake as well. This is hard to keep up a lot. This Murdoch's back out again, guys. Okay, let's see if we can find our 2nd place driver, which is Nakura in the 8. He's just going down over start finish now, and 2nd and 3rd are right together with Barley and Nakura, who's early confidence appears to have completely disappeared, to be honest. The car's looking significantly less happy, the blue and white car. The pinkier machine of Bardet in third, both bumping at the moment, but obviously you're only half a second away from disaster at any point on this track. He comes in around the top corner, across the timing loop, and he's had a bit of an advantage there because there's a mistake being made by the 5 car of Bardet. Rossi makes a mistake as well. And it's actually Samuel Varza now, the Swiss guy, who moves into 4th place. Now Varza himself had problems earlier on, appears to be gaining back up the track. Another lap completed for our 2nd place man, Nakura. Drop back to the green car 3, now going down the Samba S section, Ash. And this is Varza, who's now moving into 2nd. He was 4th, now he's 3rd. So we just got the overtake there, as Varza's car looking a little bit more planted than the car behind it, and that actually is 3rd, 4th and 5th in the same shot. Varza green and white. Bardet pink, and now Rossi, as you see, that 4th and 5th battle's gone through, and they've taken each other out, so that's not helped anybody. Well, it has helped somebody, it's helped Varza, to be honest. So a little bit of long distance kind of confusion there, and now the 5 car, which is Patrick Bardet, the Dane is in 4th place. There's a 3rd place man going around the A main in, just ahead of him, so you can see his quarry, but he's had 2 or 3 bad laps. We've seen this before, that the drivers suddenly have these bad periods. I'm wondering whether it's just literally when the tyres go, and they just get the tyres covered in gunk and can't get them clean, and then they push, and it's kind of a vicious circle of ever continuing unfortunateness. But certainly, see, that was a much better lap for Bardet, and he's now slightly gaining on Vassar. Now, Vassar has had his own brain fade moments earlier in the race, but has put in a solid few minutes now. Oh, and look at that! That thing just snapped away from the corner, didn't he? He turned in suddenly. He was about to lose the end. He had to kind of release it, and the thing snapped back, and he just drifted wide. And really, we had to send a postcard to the apex of that one. Oh, see again, it's just permanently wanting to bite his hand off. Yeah. So Varza now is 6 seconds of Hannah Bardet. Rossi in 5th is 6 behind. Mario Dada has a 5-second lead on Nakura, who in turn is 6 seconds ahead of Varza. So it's all spread out for a while as we hit the halfway mark of the 132nd A final. Australian fans, Murdoch, despite stopping, is up to 8th. Paul Leaf-Millen is 9th after a race that didn't really get going from lap 2, and a mistake for Nakura. I'm not sure he's got going again. He has, and Nakura's made a mistake. So can we find car number 8 of Nakura? Because now the leader, Dada's gone missing. So the leader went missing. Nakura car 8, blue and white, Ash. So that's now your new leader, because we lost Dada in that lap. So Nakura leads. Got tremendously edgy oversteer. And now you look, there's Varza. Varza now is 1st and 2nd here. Now Nakura's got damage on the rear. He's been punted at the backside or has fallen the backside, and I'm not sure whether that's actually rubbing on the tyres. Dada, is he back running again? Yeah, Dada's back on it, I think. No, Dada wasn't. Dada had a missed score. Okay, so Dada never disappeared from the lead, everybody. Dada just missed a lap. So Dada missed a lap. He would have gone, but I've seen it before, you just go too tight. So what you've got now is a battle for 2nd and 3rd. And there it changed just then. Just then, Varza got inside Nakura, but Dada was never missing, he just missed a lap. So Dada continues his merry way in the lead by 5 seconds from Nakura, from Varza, who overtook Nakura about 2 corners ago. Now Nakura now is looking to try and catch back up again, taking too much curb. He's got a massive dent on the inside of his body shell at the rear where he's been punted. Now I'm not sure whether that's affecting anything. It might be rubbing, and the aero effect will be minimal. Doesn't look very pretty. And a couple of cars quite conveniently stopping. Just so you know, Dada goes over the line now in the lead. Vaza is second now. Nakura goes third now. And Barde's still a way away. So 1, 2 and 3 doing the right thing. There's Barde over the line at this point. So I'm getting the feeling first and second is beginning to condense up again, so I might try and see where Dada is. Yeah, can we go to start finish right now, Ash? Because that's first and second right together, and that was the change for the lead. So into the lead has gone Vaza over Dada, and then drop back to Dada, the 2 car, because he now is in a battle for second and third. Orange and white, and then the blue and white there and they've come together, of Nakura, who came off worse over that little kind of, back one car. Came a little bit off the worst this battle with Dada, in the 2 machine. And Nakura look at the inside of Dada, and he took the nose off the car. 7 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Oh, and he just got no drive, Nakura. So Dada, Vaza now in the lead. So Vaza's been in first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth and seventh during this race, but now he's leading it again. And leading it by a relatively large amount. 24.8 he's just done as well. He's leading it by 5 seconds. Dada's in second, and Nakura's in third. And Dada's injured because he obviously had a moment we thought he was missing, which was a miscount, but he did lose some time there because the reason he was miscounted because he actually overturned the timing score. You can turn too sharp and actually miss the timing loop while still doing the corner and losing time, so it's fine. As Dada puts a lap onto Murdoch. He's got himself to 6th, by the way. Nakura. So Vaza actually is going very well. Dada had this bad 3 or 4 laps, has calmed the whole thing down again, and is now doing what you need to do. Murdoch looking to unlap himself. Oh, that doesn't help anybody. See, that's not how you unlap yourself. He's come in. In a way, Dada's sort of invited him, but he wasn't expecting him there, and they're now all together. Now, Dada had a real problem getting going again. I'm not sure whether in that melee Nakura got past him. I don't think he did, actually. He's just right behind him. Second and third now very close together again, but that's obviously great news for Samuel Vaza. He'll get an extra 7 seconds of lead there. As there we are, second and third has changed as Nakura got the drive over. Dada's car's gone really rogue over the last 5 minutes. Got 5 to go to hang on. He's now in third. He's got a reasonable lead, as you can see, over 4th place. The 4th place, which is now Rossi, hasn't even actually come across the line yet, as now. So the difference between third and fourth, the second and third is right together, and the difference between third and fourth is the best part of a lap. So someone really needs to tell him it's the best part of a lap and just drive the black bits. Just drive the black bits. And because it comes off it and the thing looks horrible. Horribly edgy. This track is a single line track due to the weirdness of the tarmac, apparently. We were here 6 years ago or so, 5 years ago for the Euros, and it was a grippy track all over. We had cars grip rolling, they had so much grip. Here, it's been resurfaced. And as the track's opening up, it's not really producing any grip. What it is producing is sort of sand from underneath the whole procedure. So it's opened up and they're sucking the sand out from underneath it. This thing about tarmac circuits, tarmac surface is a living, breathing organism in many ways. It's settling and moving, and it's not like a bit of carpet that's always the same. Let's see if we can pick up Nakura in the 8 car. Move forward 1 car, Ash, blue and white, to see what he's doing. He's a long way from our leader. 4 minutes to go, but this will be the first double bump of the event. That's not a very good idea. He might get called for that one. He just pinged Rossi. Barde's back in 4th place. But by the by. So Vaza leads still, Nakura's second, Dada third, Barde fourth. Murdoch, despite stopping, is in 5th. stopping it getting going, obviously. Rossi 6th, DeFeo 7th, Ujima 8th, Paul Eastman 9th, and Anders Olsen is bringing up the rear at the moment, but things do change. It's a 4-lap spread from front to rear, by the way. And those spreads will get thinner and thinner and thinner as we go up the level of the finals. The gaps between them gets less and less and less, from the fastest and the slowest. So a lot of guys letting people through. Keeping an eye on whether Patrick Bardet can catch up Dada, and I think the answer is no with 2.5 minutes to go. Let's find our leader, car number 3, Ash. He's probably actually slightly behind this on the lap. It's the green and white car. There he goes. That is Vaza, who had a good start. Dodgy sort of minutes 3 to 6, and then has since driven through the pack back up into the lead again. Has the word Emily written on the car, so which I romantically would like to think is his girlfriend or his daughter, but of course could be just a sponsor, like a cake manufacturer called Emily or something. Again, a lot of these cars do look very kind of wobbly. When you turn the corner, you can see them correcting again to prevent them from either understeering or oversteering out of the track. And that is due to this single line we have going on here. So the 132nd final winds down, 2 minutes to go. This is your leader. Vaza's lead is to say the second place man has just crossed the line now. Yoshito Nakura is back some 17 seconds. Mario Dada's missing now again, just late, bad lap. So he is 11 seconds behind Nakura. Patrick Bardet in Denmark is a long, long way further behind than that. So not a tight battle in this one for the top 3 positions. Dave Murdoch is going to be unhappy he had to make that pit stop, because otherwise I think he probably would have bumped up. He's in 4th place despite stopping and having a pit stop for 3/4 of a lap. Mario Dada has the best lap time, 0.8 of a second. That was because I had to give him a lap back. And coming down the main straight for the penultimate time and starting his one before last lap is our leader, Samuel Vaza from Switzerland. Hop Suisse, as they say. And Nakura looking to become our first double bump upper from 8th to 2, and that was mostly built on a very, very good first few laps, including a very nice threading the eye of the needle to make 4 places in the corner, which we saw in replay earlier. Dada has got a horrendously fading car that he's going to have to do something about if he wants to get any further in the next round. We'll start 10th, but he's got to work out what in the setup is meaning it's just awful after the first 5 minutes. And the top 3 will be those cars because Murdoch's been caught. Nakura's missing. Don't have Nakura, he's just very, very late. But Nakura's actually lost 2nd place on the last lap. So Nakura had a crash on the last lap, lost 2nd place, but came 3rd. So it's Vaza from Dada, from Nakura, from Murdoch, from DeFeo, from Bardi, from Rossi, from Ujima, Leafmillum and Olsen. So well done to the bump uppers, especially Ishita Nakura from Japan, who's come a long way, but he's bumped up twice.
Hello.
He's back. He bought me a coffee, which is the key point.
Yeah, I got coffee. I have been very useful.
What have you done that's useful, Matt?
Got you coffee.
Okay. Because you're going to be useful in a minute, because I need to have a natural break after I've had a look at the chat.
Wow, fantastic.
Aaron Smith, great drive from Dave. Huge credit to Murdoch. He came back through again.
Here comes Ash.
Hello, Ash. What's wrong?
It's cutting out quite a lot.
Is it?
There's some batteries.
My batteries, 3 bars.
Always try and have it. Hang on, we'll just have this conversation off air.
And we're back. Just a few minutes until the 116B final kicks off. Drivers waiting on the stands. You can hear in the background the first of the engines starting for this 20-minute race. You can see on your screen now something we're promoting throughout this event, and in fact throughout October, your chance to win €100 to spend at rudog.eu. Want to know how you do that? You have to go to controlsport.com/EFRA and find out how to help us grow RC for the future and get yourself a chance of winning a €100 voucher. Now, we've had a tremendous response already, so we're really, really pleased that everyone that's already taken part, if you've already taken part, there's still more you could do, because it would be great if you could share it with somebody that you know that knows nothing about RC. That's the best way for us to grow RC, is by sharing or learning from people that don't know about RC, how they perceive it and what it is we can do better to communicate with them. So please send this great promotion and this chance to win to somebody that doesn't know about RC. If they win, then perhaps they'll give their voucher to you as Nick returns. And it's a perfect time to say thank you to Samba. Thank you to A-Main. You're watching the IFMAR Large Scale Touring Car World Championships from Villarreal in Portugal. The mist has cleared from the mountains. Ash, I don't know if it's possible for us to just prove that before we line up. This is the warm-up section happening now. Ash has a moment. We can have a look at the mist clearing from the hills that surround us, the beautiful vista here in Portugal. And there you have your drivers on the screen. 10 drivers now. Luca Raoli is on pole. And there we have, you can see Ian Oddy down in the pit lane, standing alongside the mechanics who are limbering up, ready to run out and rescue beached and broken cars from this wonderful circuit.
It's a very important role, the being able to run really quickly. I do feel the choice of your running mechanic should be made based in purely on fitness, not because it's your mate.
Yeah, they don't do much. You know, they, as we know, they're going to do one pit stop, but they don't even have to be quick at that. So it's not like they need a huge amount of skills.
Apart from being dead quick and keen.
Yeah, so as you said, there was a business opportunity there for any Portuguese running star who wasn't accepted in to represent their country. They could have come here and been a mechanic.
And made cash. And cash money.
Yeah, made, I don't know, probably got at least a coffee and a pretzel.
Croissant. Have you read the Runners and Riders out?
No.
Right, okay. So, in car 1, it's Luca Raoli from Italy. Car 2 is Lino Sciacca from Switzerland. Car 3 is Magnus Nilsson from Sweden. Car 4, Craig Allman from Great Britain. Car 5, Adrian Oviedo from Spain. Car 6 is Ole Henrik Gulickson from Norway. Pascal Hervé from France is car 7. And the 3 bump-ups from the 1:32 final, Valentin Saavedra from Spain, David Mutt from Spain, and Tomaki Akuda from Japan. So, British fans, this is the last Brit in the event. So, if Craig doesn't bump up, it's a non-British event from this point. We already have, I think, most of the other nationalities still represented. There's certainly still more Danes, more Swedes, more Italians, more Swiss, more Germans, more Spaniards to come. And, of course, we know that Akuda from Japan has bumped up to the 8th final. Sorry, the 16th A final. So they are being waved back into the pit lane. Carlos giving the wandery wavy hand there. Matt gets through his second bog roll of the day. He's suffering. He's suffering with a cold. Poor old Matt with his cold. We now get ready and wait for the cars to roll out onto the grid, which will be quite soon. For this, the 1/6 delay. Not sure. Rather than having a chat. Hello, let's have a chat, shall we? don't forget to write, I think he said. Tell Matt I said hi from Cormac. Do you want to say hello back?
Hi, Cormac.
There we are, you see. Say it again.
Hi, Cormac. We missed
Oh, the control I have. It's rare, isn't it? Hello from Scotland, says Memorax. Okay, let's get ready for what is going to be the 1/16th B final here in Villarreal, in Portugal. Cars come out onto the pit straight, and they'll line up in those positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then, of course, the ones we can't see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Thank you to A Main Hobbies. Thank you to Samba for your sponsorship of this broadcast. There's a kind of a small spurt on. So one in the position is Lali from Italy, Lino Schiacca from Switzerland in 2, and in 3 are now on it. Was about to say wasn't on his slot, he is now. Magnus Nielsen in 4. It's Craig Orman from the UK. 3 seconds to go, and it's all going to kick off for 1/16th B final. 20 minutes again, and there they go. And the first running in. Oh, moving by the 6. The 6 hit the 5. And then they all came together. So the first 4 got away, mainly because the 6 and the 5 are coming together. There's now 7, so it's gone up in order. But it's David Mutt who's gone through into 5th place. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 together. Orman with Nilsson. And David Mutt, that's 7. That's a 7 car of Pascal Hervey, I think, who's managing to start bridging the gap. 1 and 2 clear. So Rowley and Schiacca. And then, as they're all trying to get themselves positioned in again, it's 3 Nielsen, 4 Orman. That's what we've got here. The green car is Orman. The pink or orangey pink and white car, that is Pascal Hervé in behind them. And then the orange and white car leading these 3 cars with a big number 3 on it is Magnus Nielsen. So it's Sweden, Britain, France, and that's not what you want to do. So what happened there? Orman just takes far too much, and that's it. So that may be. Did he get going again? I think he didn't need marshalling, so there's a chance that he will still have a chance to get going. But he is now dead last, Orman. Now David Mutt appears to have had a problem as well. So I'm not sure whether David Mutt's actually still in this one in the 9 car. I'll look out for him in a second. So we're with the 7 machine. Pascal Hervey in 3rd. The leader goes across now. 1. Also car 2 had an issue. Schiacca had a problem there as well. So behind Hervey in 3rd is Schiacca now in the yellow and white car. There it is, nosing into our shot. He was 2nd, he's now 4th. So he goes a little bit wide there. Hervey much more running the line, and Schiacca's made a massive mistake there because he put himself off the line, trying to put the power down, and things squirreled away from him. Good lead for Luca Rowley, a lead of something in the region of 4 seconds from Magnus Nielsen. Hervey, then Schiacca, then Gulickson, Oviedo, Okuda, and Orman in 9th, and David Mutt, David Mutt, who bumped up, is missing from the race. So we've lost David, I'm afraid. Still with our 3rd place man. 1, 2, 3. In many ways, Irving moving a little bit more. Drop back 1 car. And that is the battle for 4th and 5th between Schiacca and Ollie Henrik Gunnarsson. Schiacca and Gunnarsson, his 2nd and 3rd's getting closer, as is 4th and 5th, so they're condensing a little bit now. In fact, the 8 car's coming to join, the Valentine Savage's coming to join the party as well, so it's all going, apart from the leader, Luca Rowley. Oh, and they've squashed each other the track, and through that goes, and so that's Irvine and Schiacca, and nope, he's gone. So there's all sorts of confusion happening now, and these 2 cars, which is the 6 and the 8 of Henry Gulickson and Valentine Savage's. Oh, Savage's rolled off the track. So it's now the 6 machine of Gulickson in 4th. And he was in 4th. And no one wants to do well in this race. So move forward 2 cars, that blue car. As Orman gets attacked by Gulickson. There's the 5 machine now, which is Adrian Oviedo of Spain, who's now found himself running in 4th, which I think must be a surprise to him as much as anybody, because he was right at the back earlier. But 4 cars have thrown themselves either at the wall or at a corner badly. There they all go. So, Oviedo in fourth, not massive behind Hervey. Move forward one car, because we've got a battle for second and third now, which is the Hervey and Magnus Nielsen battle. I think we've seen bits of this before, but that's Nielsen with the orange with the black nozzle stripe, and then more pinky with the white bonnet is, or white hood, is the 7 car of Hervey. So Sweden v France as they battle for second and third. Problem for the Japanese driver Okuda, being marshalled again. Oh, big accident behind as the 2 car of Sciacca was upside down. They got hit by 2 different cars. But this battle is very, very close now for second place. Hervey and Nielsen. Hervey a little bit slower down the main straight now. Only got up past in front of our window timing screen. Up the inside. No, just backed out of that one. He was thinking about it. And then backed out of coming up the inside as they swept into the Samba S. Both of them doing the thing you need to do, is sticking on the black line. A bit wipe out there, moves a little bit wide. Now thrusting down the straight. Oh, looking at the inside, looking at the round, left, right. Oh, just managed to stop the thing in time before he went right at the backside of Nielsen there. Just to remind you that the leader is Luca Rowley, and that car behind is a lap back. So the green car is Tamaki Okuda, who's a lap back. Now, Hervey missed that corner quite badly actually, and just ended up squaring it off and costing himself some time. Behind them, we've got Oviedo just ahead of Orman. So Orman's in 5th, Gulickson's 6th. No, Sciacca's now 5th and 6th, and Gulickson's 7th. So everyone's had a bit of a go really at being in the bump up place or near them. Rowley doing a very good job, the Italian, just getting out there, putting some time. This is second and third, the other 2 bumps. They've got a big gap over 4th place, which is obviously quite comforting. But if they hit each other hard enough, they could probably ruin all of that. Nielsen leading with the orange and white car, and then the pink and white machine. Oh, up the inside and straight, Hervey gets through. So slightly ponderous left-hand turn at the A main in, and suddenly the A main out. Sorry, and suddenly that's split down again. One of the interesting things is the gaps on when you're looking live. So I'm actually looking at the track. Looking at the track live, the gaps seem much smaller than they do when you look on the camera. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's a foreshortening effect. These larger cars, I think. But Hervey now made a good little break away from Nielsen. Nielsen a good couple of seconds back. Gained a little bit there through the main straight. There we are, just flashing in the corner behind you. 7 minutes gone, 13 to go. So we're sort of a third of the way through, just over. Problem for the 6 car of Ollie Henrik Gulickson. That car's retired now. But Hervey now has established quite a decent lead over Nielsen. Yeah, broken steering for the Norwegian. Gulickson, that's 2 cars in trouble. I mean, Gulickson may rejoin, I don't know. Drop back 1 car to the big blue car that's behind. Just coming down, the blue car and the green car coming to the bottom of the circuit now, and they're going to go round in front of you in a second. Actually, this is the battle for 4th and 5th. The bluey car is Adrian Oviedo of Spain, and just flashing into to shot is the green car of Craig Orman from the UK. Oviedo about 3/10 slower last time, a better lap this time. Oh, and Sciacca's hit Orman, so that's not very popular. So Lucas Sciacca hit Orman on the straight. Maybe that Orman had a bit of a tank slapper on. I wasn't quite watching that bit. And that's where Oviedo now in 4th get away. There's quite a lot of... I think David Mutt's got going again. So yeah, David Mutt Castelvai's got going again. So only 1 car's not running, which is the Norwegian Gulickson. Luca Rowley still leads. Having just put a lap on Valentin Saavedra. Let's pick up a leader. Green and white about to come on number 1, about to come underneath you, Ash. And this is Luke. He's putting really hasn't put a foot wrong so far, or a wheel wrong, more importantly. With a Mechatech chassis. Comes round the fast top corner, and the car is looking quite well balanced as he powers it down through the Samba S. Turns sharp right before his left and trying not to drift out too wide underneath the rostrum there, and the fast left before into the A main in, and then turning back for the A main out. Then you build the speed all the way through this sweeping bottom corner up the main straight for what's a much trickier end of straight left than it was 5 years ago due to the lack of grip. So there's a lot of braking for that part of the track. And that lap round was a 24.7, so the laps are really good. I mean, in fairness, Rowley's putting in a pretty much a masterclass about how to drive really, really well from the pole position and get yourself out of a 16th final. So just over halfway on this, means there's a nice little sprint there to kind of drive up the inside of the 10 car of Tamaka Akuda. Behind him, things are tightening up slightly. Let's pick up the blue car of Oviedo again. He's just about to go under you as well. There you go. He's managed over those last few laps when we were looking at Luca to just slightly eat into the advantage of Pascal Hervey at about 3 or 4 tenths a lap, which means the gap between the two of them now is down to less than 4 seconds. In fact, it's less than 2 seconds, sorry. Hervey crosses now, and it's, yeah. Drops down to Hervey to him is actually 5 seconds, 4.4. Sorry, Nielsen to him is 1.2. I've got the wrong, I'm reading the wrong line. So this is the 4th place man, Adriano Oviedo, and just ahead of him is Magnus Nielsen in 3rd. Hervey's in 2nd. So Nielsen just ahead of him, and that gap between 3rd and 4th, bump or no bump effectively, is down to about a second. In fact, if you open the shot up, Ash, you'll see the car ahead. There we are. That's the 3rd place man in the orange and white. He's got a kind of a meandering machine ahead of them they need to try and lap, which they've both done. So the battle is now on for the final bump-up position. Leading car is Magnus Nielsen, Sweden. Behind him is the Spaniard Adrian Oviedo with the mostly blue machine. They're right behind him now. They get the inside. He got it. Wow, that was a almost invitation. And it's looking like the 3 car of Hervey, which looked a little bit like it's lost most of its drive. It just seemed really too easy. It almost let Oviedo through. I don't really thought he was being lapped or something. But, sorry, Nielsen, just let Oviedo through. Don't know what happened. Hervey's still safely away. I keep getting his names mixed up for a while. Brain has frozen, as can happen sometimes during these races. Now, drop back to the 3 car, Ash, who's currently running in, that's the 3 car of Magnus Nielsen, currently running in 4th place, because he's now about to lose that position to Craig Orman, the green car. So Nielsen's car's obviously now suffering with something. It's got a case of something. I don't know what the something it's got, but not only has Oviedo gone past him quite easily, now he's got Orman behind him. And this will be the 4th and 5th exchange. Now he's looking a little bit happier this time. The Orman, the all-green car with the black, green side car with the black nose, but that time round it was, Nielsen's lap was all right actually after 2 bad laps. So not quite sure what happened there, but in the intervening time he lost his bump-up position to Oviedo. So Nielsen, oh wow, that's a bit different. You see that again. So he comes around the corner. There's Saavedra, just hits Saavedra and turns them both around. Didn't even lose that much time. And carries on going, the RS5 replay. So Orman's made some mistakes which don't help. He's dropped off that position. So the 3 car of Nielsen continues in 4th. Down to 6 minutes to go, about just under a third of the race. All sorts of craziness going on there. Lucas Sciacco now, Helena Sciacco now is currently in 5th. Orman's dropped to 6th. Nielsen we're looking at is 4th. Let's pick up the blue car of Adrian Oviedo again. Because he's now, that car that flashed down a screen there, that is Pascal Hervey. There is that blue, the pink and white car. So Oviedo beginning to move forward towards Hervey and looking to take 2nd place. They are both bumping at the moment. 3rd place we've got with you Oviedo. Don't forget that Luca Rowley, the Italian, is a long way ahead of these cars. Almost a lap, in fact, in the lead of 2nd place Hervey. Hervey that time round lost a couple of tenths to this car of the Spaniard Oviedo. Oh, 2 wheels, doesn't help. That's a back marker. And then lets him through, which is Akuda. And now you'll see that Oviedo is right behind Hervey. Hervey, as he comes around this corner, that's Hervey there. The pink coat, just to ruin it slightly, he missed the corner and lost some time. So 2nd and 3rd battles on. The sun is shining brightly now at 12:20 local time. Oh, and they'll be able to pick up 2nd place. Hervey had a kind of a moment off camera. He slapped it around and that was it. So Hervey's another one of these cars that when you get out past the 15-minute mark is slightly struggling with what it's doing. So let's just drop back to Hervey for a second. So drop back 1. He's not far behind. He made that mistake. Now he is far behind. Lap time for Hervey, 26. Big accident there from someone. Who hit that? That was the one car. So our leader just crashed off the track underneath me there. And Hervey makes another mistake. So this is going to be interesting. The 4th place man is Craig Orman. He's a long, long way behind, but you've got 3.5 minutes to try and catch up and make that final bump up. But obviously, it'll be less far behind. He was 14 seconds back. Hervey goes round in a 31. Will Orman do a decent lap and catch a few seconds up? It's not come past yet. So 31 and Orman goes round in a 29. But Magnus Nielsen now has come back into play, into 4th place. And the gap between Nielsen and Hervey is 10. So Hervey's car that time round, fine, 25 flat. That's a good lap. So the inconsistency, I think, is the issue in there. And when you can get the thing to roll, you're fine. But they're kind of fighting it as it goes slightly off. You're fighting it more, and it's more likely to catch you out. But this lap, another good one from Hervey. He kind of got his head back together again. Obviously, adjusts his driving style enough to see there. Heavy braking at the top corner. But 25-2, and that's the now that could be the changing position. The out goes the 7 runner team now that the 3 and the 4 are coming round, and the 3 and the 4 are coming round, and they've got him, and that's the change of position there. Change of position there, and that's now 3rd place is Magnus Nielsen, 4th place is Craig Orman, and 5th place is Pascal Hervey, as Hervey fell upside down and had to be rescued. So Orman now in a close battle with 2 minutes to go for the final bump-up place, but currently that's held by Magnus Nielsen. Can Pascal Hervey come back? As what looked like a very simple run to the flag has changed entirely by that accident where he needed to get marshalled by his own running marshal. Orman now looking up the inside of Nielsen. Nielsen with the orange and white, the checkered flag on one side, the Union flag on the other. Now you can see Orman's being careful there. He backed off him not to touch him. Now, the problem he's also going to get is that Hervey's going to try and get past him as well. Hervey's car went a bit dodgy, basically, in that last period. And I can see him now. He's having problems behind these two. So these two, good lap for Nielsen. He's just pulled a little bit further on Orman. Orman there, very good round that corner. And now Orman has a chance, but it's held by Nielsen. Minute 24 to go. Catching is one thing, passing. Just to remind you, Adrian Oviedo and Luca Rowley, long way ahead. This is the battle for 3rd and the final bump-up place for the 8th final. Currently held by Nielsen. Nielsen went wide, had to brake too much. They're right together again underneath my nose and by the commentary position, and now coming towards where the camera is. So there's going to be a big selection of Scandinavian Swedish fans cheering on Magnus Nilsson and a big selection of UK fans feeling on Craig Orman. And Craig now, he's what he's got to do. He's got to get past up the main straight. It was noticeable how heavily we saw the braking. And there's a car in the middle. A car in the middle of the road. Looks like that could be the deciding factor. It was a 6 car that spun of Ollie Henrik Gulickson. He's gone back in the race. He just spun and he pinged into Nielsen and then through. That's 9 car. Yeah, David Mutt actually. Sorry, David Mutt spun, took out Nielsen. His fellow his fellow driver, Mutt of course is Spanish, and let through Craig Orman in the 4 car. So sometimes you need to be good and sometimes you need to be lucky, and that was luck. Orman, though, now has to hold on for this for one more lap, and he will bump up in the most remarkable situations there as Hervey rolls. Hervey had picked up 3rd. Nielsen now has 4th again. Sorry, Hervey had picked up 4th. Nielsen has 4th. So it's going to be Luca Rowley, Adrian Oviedo, and if he can do 3 more corners, it's going to be Craig Orman in the most, spectacular of circumstances. And absolutely, David Mutt will not be on Magnus Nielsen's Christmas card list after that. It wasn't deliberate. It just happened to be there. And Orman crosses the line and takes 3rd. Wow. So Luca Rowley wins, Adrian Oviedo is 2nd, and Craig Orman picks up 3rd with a little bit of a fortuitous overtake. They was putting the pressure on, but even so, it was very, very bad luck for Magnus Nielsen. Nothing you can do about it, no one you can complain to. It's just racing. And that is it for the 16th B. And next up, the 16th A. And Disco Dancing Matt wants to say...
Hooray!
Hooray! That wasn't the most inspired piece of conversation ever. Come on, Craig. Oh my God, said Cormac. So there we are. Doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you do it fairly, and Craig certainly did do it fairly, and he's into the 8th final. He'd be the first person to admit it was a fortuitous thing. It's going to delay him driving down to get his McDonald's or his Burger King. He's been driving to a local fast food restaurant for lunch every single day.
Loving to sample the local delicacies.
Yes, either the Le Burger King or Le McDonald's.
We're not in France, you know.
No, I know, but I can't do Portuguese accent.
Yes, it is tricky. It is a tricky one, that, actually.
Nottingham College TV says, "Good afternoon, Nick. Captain Shuttlecock and Mr. Grumpy."
There you go.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for the name checks.
That's the only pen I've got.
Okay. I don't really do pens.
You told me that.
Have you asked Cormac if he's missing being here?
He is missing being
Is he?
here. Yeah, he doesn't miss it normally. Whenever he watches, he misses it.
Yeah. When was the last time he took part in something like this?
Oh, several years ago. Several years ago.
Cormac, when was the last time you took part in this? What was your? Did you have a last race where you went, "This is it. This is my last race. This is my last hurrah," and a little celebration, or did it just kind of fizzle out?
Fizzle out.
Move on.
Fizzle out, moved on. A bit like all the best relationships.
Yeah.
I fizzled out and moved on. You have? I thought you were married. No, I fizzled out and moved on, darling. I'm sorry.
We were married.
Just gone.
Do that thing that people do when they're doing the internet dating, where they start leave it
Ghosting.
longer and longer and longer to do the reply, and then it's just one word.
Is that ghosting or something else?
I don't know.
That's not ghosting. Ghosting is when you disappear entirely. It's something else, isn't it?
No, you just sort of wean them off with slower and slower responses and less
I've missed out
conversation.
on all this. I've not been in, obviously many years from my last online date.
Really?
Well, I can tell you exactly. My last online date was the 23rd of December 2011.
Wow,
The date I met my wife.
that's fantastic.
It
Day
is.
before my birthday.
I know, that was the major
Did
thing
you
I
both
remember.
celebrate?
I didn't really know well enough to say this bloke who I'm doing RC racing with is what would he been there, 29 or something, or 31 or something.
What year?
2011.
31.
You can't even count. You're 32.
What?
You'd be 32 in 2011.
No.
Yes.
No, because
1979.
I'm 39 now, and it's 2019.
But you haven't
The
had your
second-
birthday yet.
Huh? Oh.
You were 31 when we met, but you were 32 the following day. It's right.
No, I would have been 33 the following day.
2015 was the last time Cormac raced. His
Okay.
last competitive race was the EFRA GP in 2015 in France.
Oh, there we go.
And now he's a professional esports commentator. For Pogba.
Pogba, the football player.
Yes. No, Pogba, which you missed me being very old about that earlier, Cormac. He just Pogba.
Cormac, do you want to become an RC commentator?
Because there's
We've
plenty,
got
there's plenty of vacancies.
got a position up for grabs.
Yeah. Can you get down to Portugal for tomorrow?
I think Cormac would be great.
Yeah, he'd be great. Just lives in Ireland, which is inconvenient.
Not for him. It's a beautiful place.
It's convenient for us, though, because as you know, one of the major roles of being a commentator is to be a luggage mule. we need your 22 kilograms. We don't really need your voice. It's just your 22 kilograms we're after. Don't break the bloody international plugs. I know this is our last European race of the year, but don't break your break your plugs. Subscribe, please.
Have you told them that?
No, you tell them to subscribe. You're more
triggering.
aggressive on subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, because I can see there's a lot of you joining. There's a lot of you obviously enjoying a bit of Friday afternoon racing. It's quite good, this. We still have 3 more to go today before we stop, and then come back tomorrow morning at 10:30.
Very relaxed day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, see what happens if the weather hadn't been so glorious. We'd be chuntering in 7 more rounds of qualifying today.
Oh
Because the weather's been so good, we haven't needed to do that.
Thank you, Portugal.
Yes. Cormac said he'd love to cast RC. Well, Cormac, if you move to the UK, I'll employ you. But unfortunately, it doesn't work with you being in a foreign country. Purely for luggage mule.
It's not foreign to him,
not
is it?
All right. All right. Being in your home country doesn't work, because we would need we need you to carry all the kit surreptitiously through customs. In fairness, though, of course, come next year, you'll be even more useful because you won't be Brexity. You'll actually be European. So suddenly you get even more attractive now to us. I suddenly thought we could just send all the kit to you.
Yeah, that's a good
and
idea.
then we haven't got to keep getting in and out of little
we
England.
should move in with Cormac.
Cormac did put a post recently where he's actually currently homeless for some reason. I think
Oh,
he's in between. I think he's in between houses.
Okay.
So
We can all get a place together then.
and start a commune.
Yeah. We'll be refugees from Brexit land.
Refugees from Brexit land. Pole position here is going, what's occurring, which is Frank. Frank's obviously hearing us chatting up some other potential employee and he's getting worried. We're online going, hey. Let me just say right now, Cormac, we wouldn't ghost you, or whatever this other thing is. I know that gaslighting is making people believe things that aren't true.
Gaslighting?
Gaslighting is making people believe things that aren't
What
true.
do you mean, like when you go on an online date and you tell them that you're a secret agent?
No, gaslighting is more when you're in the relationship and you're being a bit controlling. It's quite unpleasant.
No.
But I don't know what this one is where you slowly don't reply as quickly.
That is a thing, though, isn't
No,
it? It's a technique.
Everything's a thing now.
Yeah, everything's a thing.
Cormac's saying we should. I think Cormac is very much wanting you to all to move into Ireland.
I would, you know. I think it would be good.
I must admit, I've always enjoyed being at Ireland. I'm just slightly concerned it's even wetter than the UK.
I've never been to Ireland.
Haven't you?
In all my life.
I've
Never
been
been to
to-
Ireland. I've never been to Northern Ireland.
I've been to Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland.
Never.
Always for work. I've never been for pleasure to either of them.
It's expensive, isn't it?
Dublin's expensive.
We bought our in-laws, my parent-in-laws. Have I got time for a very quick story?
Go for it.
Parent-in-laws, I think it was 30th or 40th wedding anniversary.
Right.
We bought them flights to Dublin,
Mm-hmm.
which, as you know, with I think EasyJet or Ryanair, really cheap.
Yep.
So we bought them like a £20 gift.
You
We got
go.
you flights to Dublin.
Hey!
And the weekend that they went to Dublin, I think it cost them about £1,000. So we sentenced them to a beautiful weekend in a beautiful country, but a much lighter bank balance. There you go.
Excellent. Racing time now, boys. In pole, Luis Diaz from Mexico, who is a proper full-time ex-top real racer. Racing in Champ Car, racing in the American Mons Series, racing at Le Mans. He raced at Le Mans in 2012.
Can I believe
In
it?
the proper race and everything,
The actual
Luis
Le
Diaz.
Mans.
The actual Le Mans, 24-hour.
Wow.
And he won the, I think it was the LMS P2 champion. Sebastian Manca is in car 2 from Sweden. Fernando Rejejo from Venezuela is in car 3. We're going very international now, aren't we? Mikael Pearson from Sweden is in car 4. Clement Morheim from France is in 6. Kunitoshi Manigishi from Japan is in 6. Pierluigi Bonasengi from Italy is in 7. Samuel Vaza is in 8 from Switzerland. Mario Dada from Italy is in 9. And Yoshita Nakura is in 10. Of course, Vaza, Dada and Nakura have bumped, and Nakura has bumped twice.
That's 3 Le Manites we've got here at the event.
Well, there's me,
Yeah.
Lewis, Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yes. Let's leave that one there, shall we?
Sorry, everyone. That's a silly off-camera joke.
It's kind of, it's not so much amused me, it's depressed me, though. Cars rolling down to the grid. Luis Diaz, race A1 GP
Sorry?
for Mexico. Race champ car. Just like one level below
Below.
F1. Well, 1.5 levels below, but still bloody good.
Have you been in Shooking by the Hand?
No, I need to find him.
It's on the driver's stand.
I have obviously interviewed him in the past, either in America or in, at Le Mans, but I doubt he remember our 47-second interaction, I would think.
You're going to go and ask him about his former employer?
No.
Okay.
He used to race for Level 5. You want to know about Level 5 racing? There's a very big Wikipedia page. Doesn't make good reading. Not Lewis's fault. Let's get this quite clear. And they're away. And Diaz gets a poor start and fishtails down, but luckily stays in the... Actually, it's a massive... What happened there? There's a huge gap in the middle of the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Well, someone's not started. That's why. We've lost a car before we started. And Samuel Varza just started late. So this is a really weird start. A number of cars having problems. Right, but this is second, third and fourth having a bit of a squabblette as they go around the A-main out. In the lead and away is Luis Diaz. Second is car number 2 of Sebastian Manca. Third is the 4 car of Mikael Pearson, then Fernando Rejejo from Venezuela. And car 7 obviously had a massive accident on the start line we didn't see. He's in tremendous trouble, and that's Pierluigi Bonasegui. His body shell is squished to bits. So I think someone didn't go off the line. Bonasegui rammed him up the backside, though I'm not sure who that might be. Car 8 all thing, but basically it's a very weird start, this one. It's kind of a low-key start to this final. Into the pits has gone the car that had the Bonasegui. 3 car here of Fernando Rejejo in 4th. There goes first, there goes second, across the line. There's third, and now here comes our 4th place man. And then behind him is the 5 car of Clement Moore Lime, and then it's Kunitishi Minagishi in behind that. And then a couple of bump-up cars. And then Bonasegui now with his body shell rearranged, but a lap back. And surprisingly large gaps between a lot of these cars at the moment. Let's move forward to the number 2 car, bright red, coming underneath you now. That's your second place man. That is Sebastian Manca of Sweden. And someone crashes in front of us, and it's the 7 car, but Pierluigi's not having a very good time, the 7 car. So that's Manca, who is running just behind the leader and just ahead of the 3rd place man, as often happens when you're in 2nd place. So far, good run from Diaz. So the Mexican leads the Swede in a race that's started weirdly. I can't actually see the whole of the start grid from my position. I've got a big wall, sort of pillar in the way. And several cars didn't emerge into the first corner. I kind of went, what's going on here? Is it a full start? The car 3 of Rejejo has made a mistake, and he's going to drop out of 4th place. 1, 2 and 3. 1 and 2 are away. Drop back 1 car, and it's quite a wait. Told you. That's now the battle for 3rd. Despite his accident, I think that is... You see, that is a 3 car. That is still Rejejo, who's picked up 3rd. 4th place now is Clement Moorheim. Then it's Mikael Pearson. And they're being joined by the tied car of Kunitishi Minagishi. So just settling down a little bit, Fernando from Venezuela. So it's Mexico, Sweden, Venezuela, France, Sweden, Japan. Just beginning to get a little bit of a gap. Drop back 1. And that's the 5 car in 4th place with Clement Moorheim from France. He's got Mikael Pearson right up his chuff, as they say. Oh, until he disappeared off the edge there. And It appears at the moment, rather than the curse of competition, if we come and see someone, they suddenly get a nice come on camera and get yourself a nice comfortable gap. Though Moorline didn't make the best of the bottom corner of the track there and kind of lost a bit of momentum. So much so he's now got a different rival, which is car 8 of Samuel Varza, looking for a double bump, and Varza's all over him like a rash. Overshot. It's quite common that people get sucked into that bottom corner. Probably because they brake and then they realise they're going to hit him. They either brake or they let it off. They're getting so close, and then let the brakes off to go wide and to kind of miss the car. Oh, got the difference in speed up the straight there. Varza, way better up the inside. Beautiful pass there from Varza. And Moorline kind of caught napping, really, as Varza just came from a long way back through the previous 2 corners and slept up the inside around Timing Square. Now you've got Pearson looking to do the same thing. Not sure if Moorline's going to make a mistake again. Pearson seems to have more speed. I'm not sure if Varza's just slow up the straight. He's not quick, but he's not as slow as he appeared when Varza went past him. And so he's got Pearson now looking to get up the inside. Cut across there by Moorline, and now he's got him. So that's a very good, again, 2 good passes. Pearson now will start trying to move forward again to Varza. But none of these are actually bumping up yet, but they do appear to have a bit of speed. This is 5th and 4th, and Pearson, who was running second for a while, second and third for a while, and has dropped back after an accident. This has kind of got a bit of a look of the coloration of an early Audi Quattro. This grey and red, and different colour percentages. It's got kind of an Audi Sport look to it from about several years ago. This is the Pearson car, the 4 car. And that's what you don't want to do, because those small errors are what's going to cost you a chance of a bump up. Because now he's back behind Moorline again and has to overtake him again. That's always frustrating when you do that. It takes ages to get past someone and you make a silly mistake. And I get past him. Car 6 of Minageshi just been just crashed and therefore dropped out of contention. In fact, you can just see him being rescued behind there. And again now Pearson looking to get up inside Moorline. Pearson, the multicoloured block coloured car with a white nose. Orange and white is Pearson. Sorry, is Moorline. So Moorline in the 5 and Pearson in the 4, but they are actually currently running in 5th and 6th. Just keep an eye on Vassar, see whether he's getting closer to Rahejo, and not at the moment. And then Pearson makes another mistake. And I'm not overly sure about the rear end of that car, but he's about to get lapped by Luis Diaz, who's setting a good pace out the front. And this has been a very interesting race. A race that everyone has really immediately kind of split away into separate environments. Pick up the green car that's just going to start finish. It's car number 8, Ash. And that is Vassar running in 4th. He is gaining on the Rahejo, not particularly quickly, 3 or 4 tenths a lap. The gap, as you can see there, is to 1.9 seconds, and that's his quarry just disappearing out to the left of the screen as we go to 7.5 down, 12.5 to go. That time round was a gain again of 3 tenths, and there is the car in 3rd of Fernando Rahejo of Venezuela. So this is looking for a double bump for Vassar. So we have seen one double bump already, and that actually has Yoshita Nakura, who's in 7th at the moment in this race. Slightly wide there goes the 8 car of Vassar as he tries to get closer to the 3 of Rahejo. And he's only 0.6 behind at the start of the lap, but he's made a mistake and dropped further back as they cut the straight now. So over goes Timing Scoring, goes Rahejo, over goes Vassar, and that lap, the gap is now 0.8 of a second as they get a little bit confused. They got confused for going through the traffic. Could have gone either way, and it went the way of Rahejo slightly as Vassar kind of slammed the brakes on and then unbalanced the car, then got going again and just couldn't get the drive up. But that's not the end of the world because we're not even halfway yet, so that little half second, 3/4 of a second glitch is not going to be the end of the world for him. It's got many laps now to try and make up the gap of 1.1 seconds. So this is the final bump up. Luis Diaz is in position 1 and they're right together now. So Diaz is bumping, and he backed out of that. So that was Vaza realising it could be a disaster at that sort of speed. Got a small overlap and then backed out of it, going up the main straight. Now he, realistically, he does appear you kind of need to overtake in the corners, and that's what he's trying to do. And he got up and just, whilst he got inside, he then had no momentum coming out. So Vaza looking for a clean pass on Rehejo. Rehejo, the orange, white and red car, just ahead, number 3. And Vaza, number 8, bumped up from the 32 final an hour ago or so. And there, just lost drive, just had to back out of that corner because the car was unsettled and out of shape. Now, of course, the advantage that Vaza has is he's done one 20-minute final already, so he'll know more about the way the car moves and changes as time goes by. Behind him is Kunishoyi Manigishi, but he's a lap or so down. So Vaza, after a wobble that lost him some time on the previous lap, lost 300 of a second on that one, so they both had quite a slow lap, surprisingly. Not quite sure why. And in avoiding another car, they're right back together again, and up the inside, and they got snapped off, and he's just lost the drive again. The reason saying that lead disappeared was because Fernando Rehejo had to kind of take an avoiding action for another car that was having its own moment, and lost drive. And that is when you don't want to do that, because what's happened there, he's effectively, he thought he's got a chance, he's thrown it in, and it's not braked, lost the rear end, it ends up being more of a drift car than anything else. In him, and at that point he was passed by Pearson, so Pearson now moves back up a place, as does Moorlime. So there's 2 positions lost there as the cars were condensing down. You need to move forward to the 4 car, Ash. That's the grey, that's the one, yeah, because he's now in 4th. 4th, 5th and 6th. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th are quite close together, and they, as you saw, one error was 2 places, and Vaza's made another error, and that's going to be much more serious because he's off the track. So back with 4th and 5th, which is Pearson and Moorline. So I think probably Rehejo's quite happy not to have them behind him, but they are behind him as they go round now. There's 3rd and 4th, Rehejo. But, and they've hit each other. And that's let through Moorlime into positions. They come round. Rehejo loses it on the RS5 replay. Gets Pearson right out of it, and sneaking through goes Moorlime. So Moorlime now picks up the bump up in 3rd, though he's made his own little mistake there. I'm not sure how big his lead's going to be as he comes round in front of us. So the Frenchman, 12 minutes down, 8 minutes to go approximately, has got a massive lead over the next 3 cars as Diaz attempts to lap them all again. There's a big accident. I'm not sure who fell off the track there. That was Vaza. Was it? Who is it? No, it's not. It's the 4 car had a problem. So that was Mikael Pearson had an issue. So it's all gone a bit crazy behind Moorlime. Moorlime is not that close to the leader or 2nd place, but I think he's going to end up with a massive lead over. So he goes over now, and he has picked up he's 12 seconds off. Who is the next car along? It's Vaza again. Vaza 6 seconds back. Moorlime another couple behind. So Moorlime is a 6-second lead here. And that's not a 6 second lead anymore because he's lost the drive going through as the sun has temporarily gone out in this 16th A final. 7 and a bit to go. We are pretty much 2/3 down in what's been, after a weird start, it's been an enthralling final of cars finding it hard to keep going. What we're going to see in a minute is our leader, Luis Diaz, put a lap, possibly the 2nd lap, in fact, on Moorlime. As there's a mistake by Rehejo. So Moorlime and Diaz now put a lap. Nice moving there, let him through. And that's our leader, the red car with the white. And he's just lost all drive suddenly there, Luis Diaz. Diaz is playing a very calculating game here. It's noticeable when the thing just began to buck out of shape. He's right back off it, not interested in. Moorlime again goes too wide at the A main in. Not sure this is affecting his lead over Vassar. It's only 4 seconds. That's the leader, the red car, white roof. The next gun, Luis Diaz, ex-full-scale racer. Vaza that time round gained 0.7 of a second on this man, Moorlime. Requiem, Ricardo's now a lap back after a couple of off-track incidents. Pearson a long way down. So Clement, who's obviously just kept it on the island effectively, looks like he's in the pound seats for the 16A bump up, but just seeing that Vasa's not far behind that. Lap Ryan was Moorlime 26.3, Vasa 25.9. So 4 more tenths taken from Vasa out of Moorlime. Vasa himself would have been doing a lot better if he hadn't just made a mistake. So that lead is going to go up again because Vasa just completely missed the corner and then did a 360 pirouette. So that time around, 25.6 plays about 28, yeah. So that was a... Mikael Pearson is in 5th, Nakura's 6th, Riccardo down 7th, Dada is 8th, Minigishi is 9th, and Bonisengi from Italy has withdrawn after a lot of various bits of damage at various times. So that time round, Moorline 25.8, 25.1 for Vasa. He's got himself 4.5 minutes to get past the Frenchman. And that's about, I suppose, 10 laps, 12 laps. But he needs to gain in those 12 laps. Moorline 25.5. That's a good time for this race, part of the race being. And 25. Now 26.7. So Vasa's really not putting in a consistent push to get him past. See if we can find our leader, the one car. He's just coming through the San Brest now, red with a white roof. Haven't seen an awful lot of Luis Diaz. Used to be sitting in the car making decisions. Now he's obviously sitting on the standing on the rostrum making decisions. Mexican. Won the ALMS, American Le Mans Series P2 class, I think, with Delta 5. And also in 2012 took part in Le Mans, the Le Mans 24-hour in the P2 class. Established himself a very solid lead very quickly, and he hasn't really. At this point, look at that. He's gone zero risk on the whole thing. And which obviously is a very sensible way of doing things. Push without risk, as Lena Gade used to say. Made a little mistake there, but it's not an issue. His lead over Sebastian Mankia remains massive. So this is the 16th day final, 3 minutes to go. Got just the 8th finals to go today. And this frisson of finals we have, 4 hours of finals. Sebastian Manka is in 2nd and about... Let's see if we can find... I think we need to find Moorlime again now, because I think Moorlime and Vassar are right together. So orange and white car underneath you now, Ash. They're much, much closer again. Drop back to the next car, the green and white car. That is our chaser. Drop back to the green and white car, Ash. And that is the chaser. That's Vasa, who is now, over the course of the time, we're looking... Oh, got completely spooked by other cars not being on the track then. Ahead of him is the 2nd place man, Sebastian Manka, who's not in, and Vasa was all going really, really well. And then, whoa, what's that car not doing on the track anymore? And he lost about a second and a half. So he's got 2 minutes 13 now. And the lead, which was coming down very helpfully, has now gone back up again as he unlapped himself from 2nd place. So Moorlime crosses the line now. Vasa crosses the line now. And 2nd back was gained by Vasa in that one, and that doesn't help, as these cars just find it harder and harder and harder and harder to actually put the drive down towards the back end of the race. That may well be the final error in Samuel Vasa's coffin as far as catch up with Moorlime, whose ground speed has disappeared as well, but it doesn't really matter because he's actually sticking in the 4 wheels are pointing in the right direction most of the time. Minute 25 to go. 2nd place and 4th place on camera at the moment. The red car is Manka, and he's about to get a little nudgette there almost from Vasa. Moorline completes his 44th lap. And realistically, unless Moorline falls off now, he's not going to have an issue. Let's find Moorline. He's going underneath the now orange and white car. Down to the last 40 seconds. Luis Diaz looking like he's going to win it quite easily. Sebastian Manka looking to become second quite easily. It looks like this man here, Claire Moorline, is third quite easily. Because Vaza's not having a very good time and he's off the track. So Vaza's just on another poor lap, which means that all Moorline needs to do is get it over the line. And whilst the race won't have finished, he should assure himself a third. I'm not certain though. So last lap for Moorline. Big question is, will Vaza get caught by the beam? And the big answer is yes. So Vaza stops. So the winner is Luis Diaz wins this one by quite a long distance, not a lap, but quite a long way. Sebastian Manica is still trying to finish, and he's finished now. De Mankia finishes. Moorline is third. Those are your bump ups to the 1/8 A final taking place in about 35 minutes' time. So that was a weird race, that one. Never developed a pattern. Strange start, and then a kind of a bitty bit in the middle where people just weren't able to get a moving forward. Anyway, so there you are. There's your full result. Luis Diaz, Sebastian Manca, Clement Moorline, Samuel Vaza is in fourth, Miguel Pearson in fifth, Fernando Reijao was doing very well and had two big accidents which lost him a lap in the middle of the race. Mario Dada in seventh, Kunitoshi Manigishi and Yoshida Nakura, and then Pierluigi Bonisenghi is in last. Have I been able to talk to Luis Diaz's car? Not so far. We're going up to the 8th today, so we're only going as far as the 8th finals today. So there's two more finals for broadcast today. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 we start with the quarters. See Hayden Boyd? We wouldn't even know I was saying. Cormac says you must come to Ireland.
I'll consider that a formal invite.
RC Mars, have you been to Wales and Cardiff or Swansea?
I've been to Wales a lot of times.
Have you?
Yeah, I spent a lot of my youth in Wales. My grandmother lived in Wales.
Explains a lot.
Yes. No, I love Wales. North Wales. Very much.
I went to North
Very close
Wales.
to my heart.
I went to Anglesey to do an event.
That's not Wales.
It is. I went to Anglesey to do an event last November, Race of Remembrance, and it was the most miserable experience I've had.
Right. Was that to do with the event or the location?
It was very spectacular, but the weather was miserable,
So the weather.
and there was all sorts of problems. I nearly went home because I had a big row with someone at the event, not with a personal person, just a person I met. I thought, what a cock.
What's a personal person?
Well, like a wife or a friend or anything. It was one of the guys at the event.
Like an organiser?
An organiser. And then some idiot broke the camera. Did £400 worth of damage.
How did they break it?
They knocked it over and smashed the screen.
Oh.
And all of this I was doing for nothing. It's a charity job. So,
Don't like to talk about your charity work there.
well, no, I didn't want to do it as a charity. It just ended up being charity and it cost me £400. No, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it again. I'm so chuffed. I'm chuffed to bits that the F4 AGM is on that weekend, so I can legitimately say I can't do it. Because I'm never going back there again. I love the people. The actual people of the charity are really nice guys, but the whole rest of it was awful. Absolutely awful.
Oh. Brought us all down a little bit with that tale. But,
Well, not really. It's just
tale of woe.
Tale of woe. You've got to be honest about life. Life is not all flowers, hearts, and everything else. Sometimes things just go to hearts. Sometimes things go to, don't they? Go to rats.
Yeah.
And that was the weekend, and I've sat there, and I'm just not doing it again. There were many other things that were annoying about it, but that was just the ones that come to mind.
Right. Yeah. Was it a good race?
No, it didn't matter. I couldn't tell you anything about the race.
Oh. It's good to point out this wasn't RC, of course.
No, it's full size.
This was full size.
It was. It's for a very good cause, and the people who organised it were great. And I just felt that some of the other organisers would just see you next Tuesdays. Honestly, the track people, not the charity people. And I don't think they're listening, so I can call them out as see you next Tuesdays. That's what I'm saying. I know I'll get an orange tick on this now, won't we? I noticed that no one's made any comments on what I've just said. We've gone a bit serious. Right, back to frivolous rubbish again. And the 1/8 B final. So it is Jorge Alonso Garcia in 1. Russell Groeniger, the former world champion, in 2 from Australia. Matias Garcia from Argentina in 3. Joel Mendonca from Portugal in 4. Fernando Silva from Spain in 5. Patrick Muller from Switzerland in 6. John Priest from the Netherlands in 7. Luca Rowley from Italy in 8. Adrian Oviedo from Spain in 9. And Craig Orman from Britain in 10. Those are the people taking part in the race. A glass of water for me. So the cars have their 3-minute warm-up. It's a 5-minute period from when they come out to when the race actually starts, of which about 3 minutes is actually warm-up. Before they get going. Vamos Argentina, says Marcelo Haberelli. The first of our 2 Argentinian drivers. Good luck, Russ, says Whole Shot Hobbies. Come on, Russell, says Aaron Schmidt. Hop Shmee, says Shmee Speedy. Aussie, 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 says Anthony Winkleman. It's all got very nationalistic now.
But it's the Worlds.
It is the Worlds. Go, go, Jahan, says Sounder. Marcelo Haberelli. What does the strong arm emoji mean?
What?
What does the muscle emoji mean? What does that actually mean? Because
Well,
you're with the kids.
Well, it doesn't mean... It's a macho symbol of strength, isn't it? It doesn't mean roll over and give up, does it? What does it? What emotion does it elicit within you when you see that particular artwork?
Taking steroids.
If you just dial that back a few steps, what are you trying to achieve?
Strength.
There you go.
Thank you. And later on, Matt will talk me through other emojis.
Yes, we'll be starting with the eggplant.
I think we won't, because I know that's not an eggplant, that's an aubergine. And then the water spout, what does that mean?
Oh, no.
Gets go. Do you mean let's go? I think you mean, Cormac. Not gets go. Hello,
All right,
Davide.
there's no need to typo shame, is there?
Well, you know.
Nobody likes a typo shamer.
Well, you say that. I actually got a bit warm for the first time today.
Oh, that's great news.
Honestly, sometimes I feel I'm working with people who don't care about me. You're supposed to be here doing, I don't know, stuff.
I am.
Yes, but not necessarily stuff I thought you were going to be doing.
What do you mean? I'm working on tomorrow.
Oh, okay. You're working in the future?
I'm working on the future.
Ooh. Here we go. They roll out to the grid. Oh, they make them all stand in the right order, don't they? Which is a bit pointless, really. So it is Garcia, Greniger, Matthias, Mendonca, Silva, Muller, Priest, Rowley, Oviedo and Orman. Or, if you like to put it a different way, Spain, Australia, Argentina, Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, Britain. That's the order of people. So they're driving out of the pits now and onto the grid. And there they all are. The blue tail, yellow nose up there. It's car two's in the wrong place, even I can see that. Car two's not on his pot. He should be way over to the left. So Russell, is, I don't think he'll get penalised for that, but he's certainly being quite clever and sat outside his grid marking rather than actually in his grid marking. The 3 car, the all red of Matthias Garcia from Argentina. And a great start from Greninger, but he has to back off. And they come round, and it's a clean start. Everyone's gone round pretty much in number order. And it looks like Fernando Silva didn't start. So car 5 is missing. Car 6 has had an error and stopped in the track. So I think we're a couple of cars already having problems. And we are looking at the battle with car 4 here. Let's move forward, Ash, and take it to second and third. Someone's been smoking here. I can smell that. So that is Greninger in the multicoloured car. Muller's been retired already. So 2 cars retired before we've started, I think. Those Silver's got going. So 2 cars retired. Silver in the... So Greninger in the 2. And Garcia in the 3. And Garcia got a huge run there to just ease back off the end of it in the second and third battle. The all-red Argentinian car of Matthias Garcia behind the multicoloured touring car style paint job of Russell Greninger, the 2015 world champion. But ahead of both of them is Jordi Garcia. Jordi Alonso. So I'll say Alonso because it's easy because that's ALO on the timing. So Alonso leads. Oh, we've all said that before, haven't we? But Greninger and Garcia having the big battle here as they come in the left in front of the rostrum and dive into the faster part of the circuit. Oh, that's a problem for Garcia. He's lost drive. Drop back 1, Ash. Because what's happened there is that Garcia lost the drive and has dropped into 4. So third now is João Mendonca from Portugal. The Argentinian dropped down. And I think 5th at the moment with a good start is Craig Orman. So Orman's come from 10th to 5th. We've got a number of problems to car. We have lost Fernando Silva. Patrick Muller also seems to be out of the race. John Priest has got a problem. So this is one of those races where we've got a kind of a number of cars not where they should be. And so it's going to mean the track's clearer as this battle for the final bump-up place rages. There's also a battle between Orman and Oviedo 4th and 5th, but obviously that's not 5th and 6th. That's not as important as the 3rd and 4th battle, which you're looking at now. White into red of the 4 car of João Mendonca and the all red of the Argentinian Matthias Garcia. So Garcia was running second, had a bit of a power spurt splurge. Now actually what's happening, both the two of them are slightly dragging themselves towards Russell Greninger. So John Priest appears to have retired, at least he's been pulled out temporarily and he won't be able to get back up from this point. So 1, 2, 3, oh, and away he goes. Oh dear, that's bad news for Mendonca. He came in, just took a tiny bit too much curb and he's out, and sliding through has gone Matthias Garcia. So 1, 2 and 3 now, and then in 4th place I believe it's now Orman, because Mendonca's not got going again. Oh, he has now, long way back. So Orman now in 4th. He's not that near to 3rd, he's 7 seconds back, but obviously there's only 3 cars ahead of you. There's a good chance one of them might break down. So 2nd and 3rd now getting busy again as Matthias Garcia getting closer to Russell Greninger. Still out in the lead, and as he's led every single lap so far is Jordi Alonso. So the Australian with the white, yellow and blue machine, and then the all-red car of the Argentinian. And then the Argentinian has got an awful lot more pace at this part of the race. as they go down the inside. Greniger looking to run the lines. If you run the lines, it's very, very difficult for the pursuing car to overtake because there's not a second lane of grip. So unless you can nudge your way inside in one of the corners and force your opponent to back out of it thinking it's a bad idea, then as we get up the talent level, which obviously we are now at the 8th finals, and we are looking at a world champion here in Greniger, then there is a good chance that he can stay on the line, making it difficult for the Argentine. Oh, see what Matthias did there, and he's doing it again. He's looking at the 3-corner pass. He went wide to think he could sweep across, but wasn't available. As Greniger comes in tight again at the end of the lap, just ahead of them is the about to be lapped car 4 of Mendonca, which shows that this car is really split up this circuit, this particular final. Second and third, putting in some good speed. Now, different lines through there. I think more because Garcia, again, he's looking to go tight, where Greniger's going wide, and he's got a big run, but there's not 2 lines. And they got the inside, and he's thinking about it, and he's going to get it. 4-corner pass. Great stuff there by the Argentinian. Greniger just didn't realise he'd lost it, didn't close the door, lives to fight another day. But the basic pace in the Argentinian's car is a little bit higher than in Russell Greniger at this stage in the race. And don't forget, we've seen cars starting to handle really, really ropily later in the event, in their 20-minute finals, as the tyres come in or go out. Still 4th is Craig Orman, but still a long, long away from 3rd. 1, 2 and 3 are going very, very quickly indeed. Orman in 4th is in a kind of a no man's land of his own, actually. But some way ahead of Oviedo. 5 seconds ahead of Oviedo. Oh, and there's Garcia on a massive accident. And that, he's lucky he's got away with it though, because he's rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bang, lands, but he's landed 4 wheels down and gets running again remarkably early. And he only lost, believe it or not, 3.5 seconds with that massive roll. And now he's got it all over to do again to get back up to Greniger and try and pass him. But he's got such a lead over Orman that he's still 7 seconds ahead of Craig in 4th. So you've got to, because Orman, of course, is bumped up. So what's happened is cars 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, who should be filling this gap, have all had nightmares. In fact, 5, 6 and 7 aren't even running, or aren't running to their full effect. So the whole middle field who qualified through aren't running. Mendonca, whose car 4, had a massive accident and lost the lap. So every single person who might turn into top 3 on pure qualifying levels had a nightmare. Hence the reason that from position 10, Craig Orman now is running 4th. And unsurprisingly, from position 10, Craig doesn't quite have the same ground speed as the guys who qualified perhaps 20, 25 positions ahead of him. Or perhaps 20 positions ahead of him in the World Championship. And now 2nd and 3rd are back together again. And Garcia looking for the same job as he had before on Greniger, which is to try and get him through the end of lap sequence. Took a bit of curb there to the Argentinian. And the Australian says, thank you very much. I'll have a bit of a gap, thank you. Just coming up to just coming past 1/3 distance now. And whilst they're all bumping up, they're keeping us royally entertained with this battle. Alonso leads, and leads by 5 seconds. Spaniard, then we have the Australian Greniger, and then the Argentinian Garcia. And Garcia, as is evident, still at this part of the track, is a little bit quicker than Greniger. Greniger, actually. They fly down the Samba S. And they're going to turn to that really fast left-hander in front of the Rosman before they go into the A-main in. And then round the A-main out. No real gain that time round. There's a great smell of petrol leaks into our commentary booth. Someone's crashed in front of us and revved. Oh, and he's just nudging him along there. And Garcia said, come on, Russell. Get on with it. A little bit quicker, please. Russell said, I'm on the line, mate. You can't go past me on the line. And apologies, there may be several more bad Australian accents during this race. I'll try and keep them to a minimum. As Greniger. Now they've got traffic, and that's always an opportunity for a car. But again, look at the inside. Didn't make looking for 3-corner pass. He's very, very quick at that top end of the circuit. Is Matthias Garcia, the people are going over Oviedo in 6th, and he is pushed out. Not pushed out. He's asked to get out of the way by. Oh, and almost made a mistake, which isn't going to help his attempt to try and catch these boys up. But he's going to be a lap behind in 4th. As again, Garcia looks to try and get past into 2nd at the top of the track. And Garcia is faster than Greniger once he gets going, but the problem is he made a mistake and got behind him again. So, you know, track position is key in a lot of this. As the 8 car makes another off-track excursion. And they're going to be lapping Joel Mendonca in 5th. Mendonca isn't that far behind Orman in 4th. So any second now, 3rd place, he's going to lap 4th place. And that green car just out the right-hand side of your screen, that was Craig Orman in 4th. So, oh, he's got him driving, went out the outside. Almost thought he didn't get enough drive to go round the outside of the car. Now he's got the inside run, but Greniger says, nope, not happening. And Garcia, I'm just going to have to let him go on that one. That was kind of a, let's see what happens with the RS5 replay. Got up the inside and then just kind of stuck on, and then they're going to have to let him go. And they'll come back and live to fight another day. So Garcia next up for, oh, but I'll tell you what, that impact has left Greniger with a massively tucked inside of his body. His body shell is completely tucked into the side. I don't think it's necessarily going to do any damage, any handling damage, but if you look at it, the car looks like it's been involved in a massive motorway accident. It's just the Lexan that's bent in on that far side. And then, look at that, Garcia gets a huge run as Greniger just drifts wide. Now, I'm not sure if that's anything to do, and there's Orman dropping out of 5th and letting them lap him. And next up will be Mendonca in 4th will need to be lapped. Now, I'm not sure whether that issue is causing a problem for Greniger. I don't know. There goes Mendonca again. He's in 4th. But a lap down. So 1, 2 and 3 are a lap ahead of 4, 5 and 6. And Greniger's got this body tuck, and I'm really not sure it's helping him at the moment. He's dropping off quite quickly from the tuck. So let's look at our leader. Just about to go over start-finish now. Yellow and blue. I definitely think the Greniger's car has been affected by that body tuck. Luckily, he's a lap ahead of the next person, so it's not going to affect his bump up unless something serious happens. Just to remind you, Fernando Silva, Patrick Muller and John Priest are no longer taking part in this race due to various reasons. 2 of them didn't really start even. But this is your leader, Jordi Alonso from Spain. I'll tell you something, that actually Matías Garcia is catching him up. So Garcia has had a very quiet race so far. He's about to get caught up by the 2nd place man. And there's still 7 minutes 55 to go. As Garcia goes down the bottom of the circuit and powers up the back straight. The tricky left. How much do you brake? How much do you turn? Garcia is gaining hand over fist. This car is putting a couple of cracking laps. I've been watching off camera. Wait a second now, that red car is going to hove into view, and that is the Argentinian having to worry the leader. So Garcia, who's got some cracking pace, he's obviously what he's going to do by bumping up. These guys are all bumping up to a complete, not only just a different final, bumping up to a different day because the quarterfinals are happening tomorrow. And look at it, just took him 4 laps to pick 3 seconds up. Oh, no, that's not going to be allowed. And this could be good news for Greniger. Just going round and round and dancing. I'm going to see what happens when they come out of this particular replay from RS5. That's going to be interesting what happens. They've got where's Greniger as well, so I'm not sure who's where. Greniger leads now. 2nd place is his body tuck's unlimited. The car, move forward 1 car to car 1. Because look at the tuck on that car. He's got the whole rear end tucked up after that coming together. This has been a very physical race. I think the first time we've seen cars really having to race each other who aren't making mistakes, having to force an issue. And Garcia so far has tucked up the rear left of the Greniger car and has tucked up the central part of the So the central part of the Grenier car and the rear left of the Alonso car. I don't know whether he's just served a penalty or not, but he's had a 30-second lap. So I wonder whether they actually called him a stop-go on that one. Some quite aggressive attacking, but not that much of an issue really, because they are a lap ahead. So I'm not think that tuck's doing him any particular favours, but it's not also rubbing on the tyre. But Russell Greniger is our leader. Just to remind you, Garcia is in third, Mendonca is fourth, Orban is fifth. Oh, and a big mistake again from Garcia. Garcia is living a lucky run off the camera. He's living a very lucky run here. But he's got such a big lead. He's actually pushing like crazy and making the odd error. And any one of those might result in a runner having to come out, which, in fairness, isn't going to be a massive issue because he's got a lap lead. But he's the disappearance of the entire middle part of this field has played into his quite aggressive driving situation. There's a mistake by Joao Mendonca as well. So where's our leader? Let's see if we can find Greniger. Greniger's not that far ahead, by my reckoning, of the car with. Yeah, he's just one ahead. So if you just move forward one car, Ash, to the 2 car, that is our leader. That's Greniger. 4 minutes to go. So Russell, he's been first, he's been second, he's been third. He's been slightly attacked by Matías Garcia, and he's showing the war wound for it on the right-hand side of his car. Lap-wise, he's running slightly faster than Garcia, Garcia's managed to get his tuck undone, so Garcia's tuck has disappeared. Third place is still... So Alonso's tuck has gone, Garcia is still in third. So Greniger leads, then it's Alonso, and then it is Garcia, and they are all more than a lap ahead of the 4th place man. 4 minutes to go. Round underneath us. Alonso's just under traffic. He actually did seem to be slightly gaining for a second on Greniger, but actually that was a visual image that wasn't telling the truth. He's actually dropped off a little bit. So I don't know whether they've all just settled down. Now they're not being slightly bothered so much by Garcia, whose car still looks the quickest. And whose best time is half a second faster than Greniger's best time, and 2 and a bit tenths faster than Alonso's best time, which actually he's just set. Alonso's just done his fastest lap of the race. At this late day, a 23.6. Gained 6 tenths on Greniger. At this point, they're fighting for whether they start 8th or 9th in the 1/4 B final tomorrow morning at 10:30. Don't forget the main final, the main World Championship final, the 1 hour main World Championship final goes off at 25 past 3 local time, 25 past 4 CET. Mid-morning in the east coast of the USA, early morning in the west coast USA, late evening to just past midnight in Australia. It's a long journey for Greniger to make the main final. Don't forget, he did not only make the main final in 2015, he won it. Car is, you're seeing here, also Greniger, World Champion 2015 in Kuala Lumpur. The body shell really is deranged underneath the car. Garcia continues to try and gain back, but he's still 3 seconds off him. With 1:32 to go. Alonso, he's already gone to Garcia, Matías Garcia. They are actually both Garcias, that's the issue, unfortunately. There's 2 Garcias, so I must remember to call Jordi Alonso. It makes it easier for everybody. So Alonso Garcia is ahead of Matías Garcia. So Geordie in second, the Spaniard. He's about 3 seconds behind the man here, Greniger. As Orman goes 2 laps down in 5th. So Greniger leads the way in the 1/8 B final. Never really much doubt who was going to bump up after the first 3 broke away and the middle field disappeared with 7, 6 and 5 on qualifying, all not going past lap 4. And Joel Mundonka having a massive accident quite early on and losing a lap. It's been really ordered where they would be, and Garcia, despite probably being the fastest car, has had issues getting past the others and has kind of forced the issue a couple of times. He's having a bit of an accident now in the background. And this is the last lap. And Russell will bump through and give the Australian fans a reason to get up. Well, it'll be middle of the afternoon to tune in the middle of the afternoon tomorrow, their time, to see whether he can get into the semi-final. And a good run by Russell. Drove well, withstood the attention, shall we say, of Matías Garcia. Jorge Alonso Garcia 22nd, and Matías Garcia, well, hasn't quite finished third, but he will be third. Joe Mendonca was 4th in the end. Craig Orman 5th. I'm sure we'll be happy with that one. Adrian Oviedo was 6th. Luca Rowley was 7th. John Priest, Patrick Muller, and Fernando Silva didn't get anywhere near getting the trip. Priest made 4 laps. The other 2 hardly even started. And that is the 1/8 B final. So we're getting ready for the last race of today, the 1/8 A final. There is the result for you all to see. And you see there's a 2-lap gap between 3rd and 4th. Hello.
Hello.
What do you want to tell us?
That one was won by an Australian.
Australian.
Congratulations.
So the conversation was about that race was whether people needed stop goes or what. Aaron Smith said he does have brakes. It's called the car in front. There was a little bit of
Or the barriers around the edge. Have you noticed an incremental improvement in quality?
yes.
Because I thought the first race was fairly tame, and then things got kind of more off-road. But then I suppose I've missed the last 2.
Well, this one basically the reason that the Argentinian was having to be a little bit bashy to get past is because the drivers ahead of him were good enough to stay on line.
Right.
So
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's about waiting for a mistake or trying to pressure a mistake.
Yep.
One race to go on low finals day.
It is lower finals day, yes.
Take a look on your screen now. You'll see that there is a chance to win €100 to spend at rudog.eu.
How much? How much?
100.
Bloody hell, that's like a party.
That's the start of a party, that is. That could be the start of somebody's RC hobby, maybe career. Who knows? €100 is a great way to get on the road in RC. Won't buy you a full kit, but it will get you going. That's for sure. If you want to win that, or if you want to get somebody new into RC, maybe they can win that. What you need to do is go to controlsport.com/EFRA. Now, we've had a lot of people taking part already. What we need is non-RC people to get involved. So they're unlikely to be watching this stream. So can you, all of you will know somebody that knows and is not particularly interested at this point in RC. Maybe your mum.
She's 90 though, doesn't know how to operate the internet, to be honest.
Okay, well, there's...
Realistically, that is the last person I would ask, but it's a good example.
Yeah, okay. So people that you think the kind of person that should get into RC,
Right.
but currently isn't in RC.
Right.
Could you send this to them, and let's find out how they perceive EFRA, which is one of the larger bodies, or the European governing body of RC. If you could share this URL. If you haven't yet taken part, there are no wrong answers. It'll probably take you about 5 minutes. Very simple questions, and we're only dealing with honesty. There's no right and no wrong.
It's the best policy.
And it doesn't matter if your answers are positive or negative, just constructive and honest. You all win with a chance of winning that €100 voucher. The winner will be chosen at random, and the winner will be announced on the 1st of November.
Where will they be announced?
On the internet, the RC Racing TV Facebook page. That person, the winner, the actual winner, will be emailed and told they're a winner. And then we will also announce, just for due diligence and so that everyone knows it's all above board, we will say the name of the person who won. Just so you can confirm, if you haven't been lucky this time, that it wasn't you, but somebody did win.
Yes,
not that RC Racing have a track record in any way of not honouring prizes.
We've never not honoured a prize. We've just failed to award them. We've set the competition.
We've failed to what? Go on.
But we've set the competition.
We've set a competition.
And then not actually awarded a prize. Anyone who's been awarded a prize has actually received the prize. We've never not sent a prize.
What you're saying is, in the past, we've been guilty of not picking a winner.
Yes.
Okay,
but there's been not picking a winner guilt.
Never again will that happen.
No,
because now we're
professional.
We're professional now. We're all above board. We're going to do things properly and by the book.
We're always above board. We're just inefficient. And
yes.
and more importantly, we were a bit like, a puppy.
We were a bit like a puppy. Pooing everywhere.
Well, no, we had another idea and we forgot about the original one.
Right.
We had too many. Oh, squirrel. And that was it, really.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No squirrels anymore.
And then we remembered about 4 months later, and by then it was pointless.
Yes. There you go. It's on your screen now. It's about to be removed. So quickly note down or go over to controlsport.com/EFRA. Please get involved.
And I'd just like to point out that Matt Guppy has told me he's had 158 views of his LinkedIn post.
Brilliant.
He sent me that twice, so I think I better say it. He's trying to make a point. Okay, so this is the last race of today, the 1/8A final, and it is Car 1, Placido Cricri. Car 2 from Switzerland. Car 2
just been carried off the track.
Casper Lund has been carried off the track.
So there's a race against time to get him up and running.
For Denmark. Car 3, Carlos Fernandez from Spain. Car 4, Jérémy Revoy from France. Jose Felix from Portugal is in 5. Marco Harleman from Netherlands is in 6. Danny Millet from France in 7. And then Luis Diaz from Mexico. Sebastian Mankia from Sweden. And Clement Moorline from France. All bumped up from the 16th final. Didn't like that, did you? It kind of went out, didn't it?
It's a bit of an assault on the eardrums. A bit like Monco Ruffalo.
Rather, everyone loves that. They're even writing it down in that what's it called now? RC News Unlimited even writes it, does it? Marco Bruffalo.
Yeah, and they also note our inability to say Bruno's name properly.
Quelo.
There you go. No longer do we say it improperly.
It's not we either, it's just me, really, isn't it? I am the man who mangles the names, not deliberately.
Yeah, Adam One always said it properly. It's my friend anniversary.
With whom?
On Facebook.
With
Willie Woods.
Willie White.
Willie White.
I've been getting picture memories from 8 years ago, which are various pictures from our Las Vegas trip.
Okay.
There was the one where you were looking lost in Terminal 5 with a Kath Kidson bag.
Yeah, I didn't look lost. I looked proud of myself.
Because you bought something Kath Kidson for the missus.
I bought a gift before we'd even got on the plane.
And there's another picture, I've got no idea, which has come up today, I have no idea where I took it. Of a random sort of middle-aged woman in the middle of the shop for no reason, and a picture of 2 hotels in the distance.
How strange. Maybe later on we can piece that together.
I'm pretty certain that the picture I was trying to take was of the hotel, but it wasn't zoomed in enough. But then why would I have uploaded it?
Struggling for content?
You know me, I'm never bothered about content.
I had noticed, yes.
Wow.
Has Car 2 got up and running?
I don't know.
Let's see if we can see him out there.
He'd already checked in, you see.
Yeah, but he basically stalled, or he lost all drive. His engine was still running, but he lost all drive on the timing loop. So he checked in and then stopped running. He's
Danish, and we've had issues with the Danes here this week.
Yeah, don't get me started. What are you saying? You've got his just desserts.
No, because it probably wasn't him. Someone's over-modding that microphone.
That wouldn't be Carlos, surely.
Jesus Christ, no. 1 minute to start for the last race of the day. 20 minutes of fun here on RC Racing TV, brought to you by Samba and A-Main. My name's Nick Damon. We were listening to the dulcet tones of Matt McCallum, and on the camera, it's the man who knows everything about shuttlecocks. It's Ash Leontine. Cars troll their way out to the pit stop, not pit, the grid. Start again. What's this racing thing again? It's the grid, isn't it? Off they go to the grid. And it's Placido Cricri, you see with the blue and the green car in one. Casper Lund, who has got going again, Matt, in the white with the orange and grey stripe. Mainly blue with a bit of white is Carlos Fernandez of Spain. And just at the back of the 4 car is Jérémy Hervé from France. And that is the sound of someone blowing their nose really loudly. We're off. And clean start, all 10 cars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all 10 cars go through in a very nice line. So you have moved up a level because everyone's starting properly. And let's move second and third, Ash. So in they go, and the leader has got away, and then you see all blue. Now I think actually what's happened is at third, yeah, so car 3 just swung round into the lead there. So Carlos Fernandez in the blue Chevy Cruise body car goes into the lead. Second is car 1. Third is car 3, so Placido Cricri is in second in the yellow and blue car. Great start for Fernandez, had real speed and real grip. Third place is just being slightly dropped. The first and second are battling. And obviously it doesn't look like Placido was particularly chuffed about getting overtaken early on. And Casper Lund is battling with the orange car of Jose Felix. As the first two scrap away, and we've got a couple of little battles. Having not lost half the midfield within the last race, we're probably going to see a little bit more going on behind these two, but it's a minute a bit in, and the leaders looking for more scraping as the Japanese man walks past with the entirety of the food for the team, making me feel really hungry. Luis Diaz in 6th at the moment. There's a little bit of a hopping incident there with the first, second. So right, first and second. Still Carlos Fernandez of Spain from Placido Cricri from Switzerland. Third is Lund. Got himself a little bit of breathing space now from Jose Felix and Danny Millett, but not a lot. And as we go round, these two are kind of sort of nailed to each other. Up the main straight they'll go, and in fact, it's actually been dropped slightly, so it's interesting. Fernandez now has slightly dropped Cricri. What's going on with Cricri? He's got a problem there. I think he just backed out of the power on the straight. I think he felt he was about to lose it and ease back off again. I hope it's not an actual power delivery issue. It seems to be fine now. Just a no-go on the main straight. Watching him again round this time, he's let Fernandez get away. Was it just a case of not feeling it? Yeah, he just thought he was going to go wide and off. So the 1 car, and then you got Lund in there. Drop back 1 car, and that is Casper Lund from Denmark. Started second, now third. He had a little bit. He's not that far ahead. And you'll see that orange car shooting in the background. That's Jose Felix of Portugal. Lund from Denmark, of course. The Portuguese driver currently not bumping up. This Danish driver currently is bumping up. We're only 3 minutes into the 20. And, problem for the leader. Car 3 has got a problem. Start-finish line now, Ash. Car 3 has got a problem, and our leader has stopped. Oh, terrible news for Fernandez. He's just died. And everything went to hell in a handcart there. Just suddenly didn't go anymore. Right, let's pick up our second place man, who is now leading. Let's pick up the car, and it's going to be coming down the main straight now. Car 1, start-finish. There he goes, that's our leader. And what we'll do is we'll reposition. Now we've lost our earlier leader, the 3 car of Fernandez. And, okay, let's drop back 1 now. We'll pick back up with Lund. And there's the distance from first and second and third. And now direct for the orange car as well. So we'll pick up the third. There, okay. So that is your 3 bump ups. Now we've lost the very unlucky Carlos Fernandez. Straight across with the 5 car. Now behind them is Millet, then Sebastian Manca, and then Luis Diaz, not out of in any way contention for potential bumping up later. But with a 5 car, Jose Felix, he's in 3rd. His lead over Millet is about 3 seconds at the moment. 1, 2 and 3 equidistant, a bit of a bigger gap to Millet in 4th. And then 5, then a long gap. I think it's going to be a problem for Jose Luis. Has had a problem on this lap and has disappeared. Luis Diaz had a problem in that lap and has disappeared right down with a poor run. And car 6 now of Marco Harleman is off the track. And the back end of this pack once again is causing itself issues. Drop back one more car. And then we'll go to Danny Millet, who's currently running in 4th place. A Frenchman. Very nicely painted white, yellow and blue and red machine. Flying into the A main in and the A main out, and then you put the power down, hoping to just get the corner right, not taking too much curb, so you can power at full speed all the way up. So if we decide what you're going to throttle off for a slight bit of brake, the braking has got the whole car checks itself, as you saw then. And what is happening to him is that Sebastian Manca in 5th, Manca is catching him up, so the speed with the all red machine is getting closer to the multicoloured Millet car. You might see him flashing into the background there, you just saw him coming in. As the leader makes a mistake in getting past the back marker. And there's all sorts of problems happening to all sorts of cars at the moment. So 1st and 2nd are right together. Underneath you now, Ash, with the blue and the green. Right together, that's it. No, move forward, one car forward. There we go, so those 2 is 1st and 2nd. That's the 2nd place man of Casper Lind. Down as a junior. He's under 17 at the beginning of the year. And we are 6 minutes down. 14 to go. Oh, and off the track goes the Frenchman. So the Swiss man, changes nationality there, the Swiss man. So Krieger goes to the track and Lund takes the lead. So Lund leads. And then 2nd place. So drop back to the car number 1. That's the green and blue car, because he's now just ahead of 3rd place Jose Felix. After falling off the track here, that blue and white car is a lapped machine, and whilst confusing for us to watch, is not confusing for the timekeepers, and ain't involved, mate. He's not getting a bump up at the moment. Now, Lund, in fairness though, that blue and white car, which actually is the 6th car of Marco Holland, is making himself a bit of a nuisance, to be honest. And getting a little bit close to Lund in the lead. I'm not sure he realises he's a lap down, but hey-ho. I do think he's probably being told to stop it. Just stop it. We've got a car upside down, which I think is, it's Luis Diaz again. So Diaz's battle forward is stopping, and I think that's probably the end of his World Championships. So just to remind you, this is not a battle for position you're watching here between Krieger. He's been passed through Harleman. Millet is 3 seconds back from Jose. So Jose Felix in the bright yellow 5, bright orange 5 car. Let's pick up the bright orange 5 car, going down to Sambress now. This is your 3rd place man from Portugal. Felix Jose, got an a black line in the front of the car, where there's a tape line, which is some sort of tribute to the kit car. It doesn't make quite difficult to identify what it is, but I think there's an Alpha 164 body, 156 body, sorry. Most of the bodies are 156s or BMWs. There are a couple of Chevy Cruisers, and we saw a single outing yesterday for a Honda Civic body. Hello everybody, sorry about that, power cut. We're back again. It was a localised power cut at the track, but we are up and running. Let's go back with Ash. If you could pick up the leader, who is car number 2, Casper, please. Casper Lund in car number 2. Not quite sure where he is at the moment. He's just coming into the lap, so Lund's just completed the lap. There we go. So that is, don't worry, the power cut affected the main things. And one of the things, like, so our actual computers, which are running off a phone and everything else, we were able to message you, and then also apparently the timing's carried on running, so we were able to rerun this one, but apologies for that. Nothing we could do about it. It just went ping. First time so far. So Casper Lund leading this one. In second now, we've had a big change around because Danny Millett now is running in second. So we can find the number 7 car of Millett. There he is, across the line now, Ash, in the yellow and the green. That's your second place man. There's 5:25 to go. So Millett sweeps around in front of us. He's managed to pick up. So when we left this with the power cut, he was in 4th. Now he's in 2nd. Do want to see what actually happened. There must have been a couple of problems. Placido Creekery's had another error and dropped down a bit further, and he's in 3rd. The 6 car behind, you can just see that is not part of the instance. So in 3rd place is Placido Creekery in car 1. So if Ash, if you could pick Placido Creekery up, he's about to go for start-finish now in the yellow and the blue car. And right behind him is Felix Jose in the orange car, and that is the battle for the final bump-up position into tomorrow in the 1/8A final. So, Creekery leading Jose in the orange car. There it is sweeping in your background there. The difference in that is about 1 second between the two of them now. Just that sort of gap, but it's whether Creekery can keep that list okay. And as he now drives up 4 minutes to go of this 1/8A final, with the prize being a berth in tomorrow morning's quarterfinal. So everything back up and running here again after a localised power cut. Someone connected something they shouldn't, I expect. Wasn't us. So Casper Lund leads, Danny Millett second. We saw both those. This is Creekery in 3rd. Just drop back to the orange car behind him, because that is your 4th place man, who in that last lap was about 7/10 seconds slower than the man he's catching. You can see him, he's tantalisingly close for Jose Felix of Portugal. He's the Swiss driver Creekery. Currently it's led by the Dane Casper Lund, and is Danny Millett from France in 2nd. Sebastian Manke from Sweden is in 5th, but a long, long way behind this man. Now, a lot of oversteer issues with Creekery there, and he's lost some time. And it was a 10th back. And again, he's just looking a bit edgy on the rear end when I'm looking the car out the window. So I can kind of see out the window, I can see what Creekery's doing. And then, oh, there we are, totally a bit edgy. And then this is the battle now for the final bump-up positions. They're right together. The 1 and the 5. Now, interestingly, once they get up and rolling again, oh, a beautiful big corner in there by Jose Felix. He gains so much time there on Creekery. Creekery blue and green. All orange for the Portuguese. Jose Felix. Oh, Felix. Oh, and that, he's got away with that again, but now, oh, and that's, oh, Tiro Lorks. They've all made about 4 errors themselves over 2 corners. It's unfortunate that Manke is so far behind, because they're both really trying not to get themselves into tomorrow. And down the straight goes Jose Felix in the orange car. Creekery got close to him, and in many ways, Creekery's also now having this issue that cars are having in the last 3 or 4 minutes, where they just burnt off their tyres or burnt off the key. Oh, and look at that. Horrible tank slapper. And behind him is the leader, so he's got to really sort of find a way of letting Casper Lund past without losing too much time. And my advice to you now would be go wide at this next corner. And he did take that one, and nice driving by Lund to get past. Right, so now what you need to do is stick as closely as possible to the leader, and then try and snap up when he has to. He will, of course, go past Creekery. Good couple of laps for Placido. So let's just move forward to Creakery and the blue and the green car, because he's now got enough lead with 1 minute and 13. If he doesn't make a mistake, he will bump up. And he's made a mistake, but not a serious one. He's made like a second mistake, not 1 second. Not a second is in the second one he's made, but like a 1 second mistake. He does have to let Lund past, which is going to cost him another half second. But his lead over Felix is 1.4. And we've got 2 laps to go. So at this point he's got 2 laps to do oversteer as well. Lund's had some problems, Felix had some problems behind him as well. So this is looking pretty good for Creakery. He's also managed to just stay far enough ahead of Casper Lund, who's going to win this one, to not get caught and have to let him through. So it looks like a poor section prior to us coming back on air again, and he's now managed to get himself where he wants to be, and it is going to be a 3rd place if he can just finish this lap for Plastico Creakery. He led quite a bit of it. So your winner will be Casper Lund. 2nd place and just finishing right now is Danny Millett. So Millett has already bumped up by finishing 2nd. Creakery tried to make a mistake on the last corner there, and then behind him is Casper Lund, who's also managed to bump up. So that was a bit more exciting than expected with the power cut, but there we go. So the winning result is Casper Lund has won this one, Danny Millett is 2nd, Placido Creakery is 3rd, Jose Felix is 4th, Jeremy Hervier is 5th, Sebastian Manker actually didn't finish in the end and is down in 6th. Marco Harleman is 7th, Clement Moorline is 8th, and Luis Diaz ends up in 9th. So that is, with the unfortunate break we had there, that is the end of today's proceedings. Apologies for those slight issues we had when we lost the power, but we are now back and running just in time to say to you, that's it. No, talk to people. We've got lots of things to talk to them about. If you are on here and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and get the bell, because then you'll know when we're going live tomorrow, which I'll tell you now is 10:30.
Okay.
For the 2 quarterfinals and the 2 semi-finals and the final. The quarterfinals and the semi-finals are half an hour each, and the main final is an hour. Half an hour, and an hour.
10:30 UK time, that is. But
10:30 local time, 11:30 CET.
But wherever you are in the world, can't be bothered to do the maths. Click the bell, and you'll just get notified when we're on air.
Mm-hmm. Bong, we're on air.
Yeah.
And please do the survey as well. Where's my finger to put the survey graphic on?
I'm just an extension of your finger.
I'm really hoping if I press Control R that the replay we'll get will be Ash. I'm going to try. The last thing I'm going to do is just press Control R and see if the replay we get is Ash before we go off air, because that'd be so hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
But it might not be. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for being with us. My name's Nick Damon. Matt McCann's been keeping you company. Ash has been doing the pictures. Please do our survey. Please press subscribe. Please tell your friends. The IFMAR World Large Scale Championship reaches its climax, brought to you by A-Main and Samba tomorrow with 2 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and a main final going for 3 local time, 4 CET. It's going to be unbelievably exciting and hopefully well-powered. Who knows? We will see you tomorrow! And let's see what replay we get if we press the replay button. Oh, that's depressing. Well, there's nothing, is it?
Oh, that's strange.
The power cut has taken it all down.
Of course.
Yes. Normally, if I press Control R, just press Control R and see what happens. It might be a slow motion of this. Oh, is it going to be? No, it's not the one where he walks on. Oh, it's really disappointing.
Oh, what a sad note to end on.
Happy note, and we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. See you guys. Bye-bye.